What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy, number one, and you are watching Warfels Morse. Tonight, folks, we've got Jeremy, number two, joining us, and his beautiful wife, Genie. That's right, Jeremy and Genie Baud of Baud's Exotic Reptiles tonight, folks. It's going to be a great episode. I hope you guys all already got your drinks, all that good stuff, because you do not want to miss this live tonight. It's going to be a blast. We were backstage just chilling for a little while. It's kind of a little bit of a late start. You guys know me. I get to talking and running my yap, and it's just a good old time. But let's bring Jeremy and Genie out, say hi to everybody in the chat, and we'll get this show started. What's up, guys?
What's up, chat? What's up, Jeremy 1?
What up, Jeremy 2 and Genie? Let's say hi to everybody
real quick. I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yes. Happy Father's Day to you, Jeremy, and like you said, all the fathers there in the chat. My wife surprised the living hell out of me this morning. I actually struck a heart chord, and her and the kids made me actually kind of half cry a little bit this morning. And then after I told her, all right, enough of this softy, feely stuff. Is like, I got to go down and give shipping quotes for snakes. And then they all followed me down anyway. So it was a great Father's Day. Great Father's Day.
She made me cry this morning too, but she just kicked me in the shin really hard. So
no,
that's better than where she could have kicked you.
right?
I learned to wear a cup around her.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
He's full of it.
I've got it. Well, all right. We'll touch. I learned at a very early stage of dating my wife that when she tells you to knock something off, you knock it off, because she doesn't remind you of somebody that's lightning fast, but she is. She's like 6'1". I mean, she's skinny as all hell. She says she's fat, but she's full of crap. But anyway, we were in the kitchen, and every time I'd walk past, I forget what I was doing, I'd smack her on the butt because she was rooting in a drawer. And I went by, I bet you, like 4 times and did that. And she told me the last time, she goes, you do that one more time, you're going to regret it. Well, of course, you've got to know what happens if you do it one more time.
Do it again.
I walked by, did it again. I should have been paying attention to the drawer she was in, because it's where she had the plastic silverware. And she came out with a plastic butter knife and pretended to jab me at the head. And all I did was just cower and just curl up into a ball, basically. From that day on, I never messed with her after that. When she said that was enough, that was enough.
I have a similar story to that.
Ooh, all right, you tell.
I got a chipped tooth right there. She threw a knife at me.
No, that is not how it happened.
At my face.
No.
She tried to murder me.
No, not how it happened at all.
How did it happen?
You wanted a slap box. You had a box knife in your hand,
Nope.
And I pushed his hand away, and it flew out of his hand, and it hit him.
You did some kind of Jedi karate moves.
Oh,
you
yeah,
grabbed the box knife. You did a couple cartwheels and a backflip, and you flung the knife right up my face, and boom, right in my tooth. Yep, that's how I remember.
I didn't know I had those skills, but
did she have the high ground?
No.
Well, then what? If she didn't have the high ground, there's no excuse then, Jeremy.
Here's another story, and this one,
gosh. Stories.
No, this is the one where remember that time I gave you that black eye?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he gave me a black eye, swollen, not just a black eye. My whole eye was swollen shut.
When you're married 29
years.
Yeah, now 29 years.
Mm-hmm.
Get it ready, or you're gonna have the black eye.
You're gonna all see this.
I really did give her a black eye, but it's not what you guys think. We're both sitting at the couch one day, and I leaned down. We had some friends over and everything. I leaned down to go scratch my leg or something. And she's right next to me sitting down on the couch. At the same time, she went to get up. And somehow when I leaned down, my knee, like as I was leaning down at the same time, her getting up, barely tapped her in the eye right there.
It was so light that
it hit it in the right spot. And I just watched it got real big.
It was horrible.
The next day, we're walking around inside Publix or I don't know, some grocery store, and everybody's looking at me like are you allowed to cuss on here? Are we allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah. No.
Everybody's looking at me like I'm some asshole white beater or something. I'm like, no, I did give her the black eye, but no, not like, you know what I mean? So.
No, I swear I didn't like really do it. She did it. It was all her.
Yeah.
So we have similar stories in a way.
It must be something with Jeremy's. It must be.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to who we got here in the chat. We got our brother Kike. What's up, Kike? Thanks for tuning in, bro. Nathan, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. We were actually talking about you backstage, bro, and your theory on why we're all having late seasons, which we can get into that too tonight. Frank, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. We got Jeremy number 3 with us as well. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. Thank you, bro, for tuning in. We've got Ray. What's up, brother? Good to see you in the chat, Ray.
Ray.
D&K Reptiles. Derek, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Jeff's Reptile Creations. Casey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Got Ern's Exotics. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. Happy Father's Day to you too. Let's see here. Who else we got? Scott, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. We got Sean from Pod and Joy. What's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. And we got Kent. What's up, Kent? Some of those, the last 3 there will definitely be here at the barbecue, and we've got Adam from Proper Royals coming up for the barbecue as well. So we're gonna have a damn good barbecue this year. Apparently, him and Phil from Finger Snakes Adam sent me a message saying that they've already got like a whole show thing planned out basically for. So it's probably more than what I ever imagined them to do. But hey, if someone wants to provide awesome entertainment for something like that, have at it. I'm good with it.
Where do you do the barbecue? At your house?
Yeah, it's just at my house.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we did it last year, and I'm like, it's just a whole bunch of PA people. Like it wasn't even that many. It might have been 20, maybe. It's probably like 20 people. And now this year, I don't know how it grew to what it grew to. But we're expecting like 60 people roughly. So
probably be more next year too. You know, the word starts getting out and everything.
It grows.
I'd start buying more grills, buddy. Buy a couple more.
That's the thing. This might be the last year for this grill. I think next year I'm going to have to upgrade.
You're going to get one of those pull behind, trailer grills or something, at this rate.
just put a whole pig on it, call it good.
Exactly.
That's an idea. That might be an idea for next year.
I got ideas for you, man. See, you're welcome. That's why they call me.
That's a good idea. The only thing is, years ago, we used to do a pig roast at my buddy's place. And we would do that. We'd start the pig at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And by like 3 o'clock, it was good to eat. But normally once you started the pig at 7, you started drinking at 7. So, but by the time it was time to pull the pig off, we were all a little questionable as to how successful we were going to be with pulling the pig.
I don't know. Start drinking at 7, man. I'll be hungry by 11. I'll be eating raw pig. Fork and knife right at the grill, cut slices.
And see, my problem was I got to playing cornhole, and everybody there just kept saying, "Hey, let's keep playing. Let's keep playing." I didn't get to eat till like 5 o'clock, so I was drinking all day long on an empty stomach. And finally, I told everybody. I forget who my partner was. Like, dude, it's like, you don't get it. It's like, we legit have to stop. I need something solid or this will not end well.
Yeah. Or else you'll be tasting your food twice that night. And the second time ain't the greatest, so.
No, the second time around, it's never as good as it was the first time. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Voodoo Doll Royals. What's up, Tara? Thanks for tuning in. That's a new face. Everybody, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well, please. And hit that notification bell as well. All the support is greatly appreciated. Now, before we dive into this, let's say thank you to the sponsors of this week's episode. Please, everybody, make sure you guys go check out all their links in the description down below.
Gettysburg Reptile Expo, LLC is located at the All-Star Event Complex in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. A 45,000 square foot venue with 125 plus vendors and top quality breeders, along with 270 plus tables. If you're looking for a python, boa, colubrid, gecko, lizard, or amphibian, you've come to the right place. Doesn't matter if you're a breeder looking for that missing piece to your project or a pet owner looking for your next scaly friend, Gettysburg Reptile Expo LLC has you covered. Need an incubator or rack system? They have you covered with sea serpents set up there to meet all your needs. The next show dates are March 18th, July 15th, and November 11th of 2023. Show times are from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Make sure to check them out on their website, Instagram, and Facebook. Mark your calendars because this is one show you don't want to miss. So I'll see you at Gettysburg Reptile Expo LLC.
All right. Also, everybody, make sure you guys check out Nathan at Infinite Possible Pythons. He is the man to go to if you want to get into the Bang project. This is the guy you got to go talk to because he is basically in charge of it now at this point. And Nathan's, I think he's letting some stuff trickle out here and there. So definitely make sure you hit him up if that's something you're interested in. He's also working a bunch of other cool ball python projects as well. On top of it, he's doing kahua geckos, crested geckos, leachianus geckos, scaleless corn snakes. And I think that basically covers the market there reptile-wise for what he's working with at this point. But he's also your one-stop shop for all of your branding needs. So if you need backdrops, merch like shirts, hats, business cards, tablecloths for shows, all that stuff, Nathan is the guy to go to. So go and check him out and let him know that I sent you. And we've also got my brother Chris at S Reptilia, which is your one-stop shop for all of your reptile needs, basically. If you need a ball python, blood python, boa, colubrid, I mean, the man's got it all, basically. Boa, I don't know if I said boa, but anyway, boas, I mean, he's basically working so many different projects, and every so many years, he likes to add a new species to the list of what he's working with. So definitely keep an eye out on Chris at S Reptilia. If you're in Eastern PA, make sure you guys check him out as far as if you need rats. He's a Eastern PA rat breeder, so he can hook you up with some rats. And then on top of it, he is Pennsylvania's distributor of Cocoa to Go in the chipper, which is by far, in my opinion, the best cocoa substrate on the market. So make sure you hit Chris at S Reptilia up. And last but not least, if you guys aren't using Husbandry Pro, you're crazy, in my opinion. But use our affiliate link in the description down below or scan the QR code right there in front of you and get a free 30-day trial of Husbandry Pro. It saves you so much time. It's the best reptile record keeping and tracking software on the market, in my opinion, today. It's good for basically anything. It's not just ball pythons, folks. You can keep track of anything. You can customize fields. You can use this for your car's maintenance schedule and oil changes if you really want to. It's super flexible program, and there's no limits to it. And it's also shaped and improved by us, the users. Rob keeps track of what us, the users, want to see, and it's constantly evolving all the time. So definitely check it out. Click the affiliate link and give it a free 30-day trial. I mean, hell, you can't go wrong with it. If you don't like it, don't sign up for it. All right. That's the end of my spiel. That's it. We're done with the show. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. See you guys. Thanks for having us, man. We're out.
All right, guys, tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you got into the hobby, what made you decide to take going from being hobbyist keepers, which I assume you probably started out as, and turning it into a breeding operation.
All right. First of all, I want to say one of your sponsors, Husbandry Pro, we really like that. We've had it, I think, like in the very beginning. When did they come out with that?
We've had it for about 2 years now.
Has it been out 2 years already?
Well,
it's probably been out 2 years because I got on board because I was a big, I'll never switch to something electronic because I didn't trust it. I was always a pen and paper type of guy. And I started having all these, the big 6x4 or whatever they are, index cards just stacking up. It's like this, I hate clutter. I can't stand clutter.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I think I'm at that point, and I had Billy on right the night before I signed up for it, I think, and he was giving me the whole spiel on it. It's like, you know what, the hell with it. We'll just give it a shot and see how I like it.
Yeah, we like it a lot. We'll get into how many different species I got, but she does geckos, and we don't use it for the uromastics yet. But you know, we have boas
we're
and
small scale on those.
Yeah, so it's nice because you can have, like you were saying, people use it for oil changes and things like that. So we have a few different species that we'll work with, so it works good for that. Anyways, that's my thing on the one sponsor that you have, that something that we really like. So
There you go.
You asked, how we got started and all, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
No, you're gonna about yourselves, how you got started, what made you decide to go from being hobbyists into breeders. That, you know, probably something you tell everybody 100 different times on live, but just in case there's some chance somebody here has never heard of you guys.
Right. Well, I was always into reptiles and stuff. I mean, when I was a kid, like obviously Star Wars was one of my favorite shows, and anything with dinosaurs and stuff like that, like
still is.
Yeah, dinosaur, like anything that had dinosaurs or lizards or anything like that, you know.
Well, apparently this year's Jurassic Park's 30th anniversary, which really made me feel old, because I remember seeing that in theaters.
Yeah.
But
yeah, oh God, I used to watch the original Godzillas, you know, black and white. You know? So I'm going way back.
I miss the old Godzillas. Which one was your favorite? Which one was your favorite?
Which episode?
Yeah, like which Godzilla movie?
Oh, I'm talking about where the lips didn't match, the old black and white ones. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, it could be
I don't even know the names of the movies, to be honest. I was a kid when I was watching those, but I used to love watching them.
Okay.
So yeah, how many movies were there?
Oh God.
I mean, there's the one with the.
I don't even know if anybody could ever keep track.
What was
my favorite was 1989. It was like, I think that was the title, Godzilla 1989. Like, it was the most badass looking Godzilla up until the one that had Ferris Bueller in it. I like the Ferris Bueller Godzilla too.
These were the ones I'm talking about are like it was like Asians or something. And they dubbed over the lips, so the lips
the old ones.
The old ones,
yeah,
they're fake. You could see them. The buildings they're stomping on are like cereal boxes painted with windows. I mean, I'm talking way back, you know. But
I remember a few of those too.
Yeah, and then Land of the Lost. I remember that had some dinosaurs in there. I watched that. I come across it on Facebook or TikTok or something like that. It is like so corny when you watch it now. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like watching what's the cartoon with Cartman and
South Park.
South Park, yeah. You know what I mean? But you know, that's the stuff. Like when I was little, I used to really love that kind of stuff. My first reptiles that I really actually bought and owned, besides stuff that I would keep or just catch, was probably 29 years ago.
28, 27, because Kendall.
Yeah, and so when we had I had a ball python, just a regular ball python. I don't even know what the sex was. I'm sure it was wild caught and all that.
It was probably a male. I don't think he was very big.
I don't think they even sexed them back then, to be honest. We had a monitor.
Nobody cared back then.
We had a Savannah monitor, and we had a green iguana, and everything was kept in aquariums with the screen heavy lids where you had to stack books on top, the heat rock, the carpet, you know, all that.
Oh yes.
So the old cat stuff.
So we had our daughters, and one day the monitor got loose in the house, you know. So after that, you know, we're like, my daughter was like 6 months old, and we're like, I gotta make sure my daughter's safe and all that. So we ended up, you know, rehoming those animals. And then probably about 2016, my youngest daughter, she wanted a blue-tongue skink, and
Bug does.
Yeah. So Genie and Casey, my youngest daughter, they actually drove to Miami to go pick one up from Outback. Was it?
What was the name of the place?
I thought it was Outback.
Underground Reptiles.
Underground. Okay. Yeah. So they went down there and picked it up, and then it was supposed to be captive born and all that, but it ended up being wild caught. It ended up passing. So we ended up going to a pet store, and then I haven't seen like anything other as far as ball pythons except for just normals, from what I remember.
We went to a reptile store, not just a pet store.
Yeah, it was a reptile store. So then I ended up, my first snake that I got 2016 was a banana. And of course, we're looking online and, you know, trying to check out things. And, you know, you get into something, you always want to research everything all over again. And then I come across all these YouTube, and just kind of blew up from there.
One day I get a text from him, and he's like, I found this collection and I think I want to buy it. I think I want to start breeding snakes. And I was like, what?
Yeah, so it was 10 snakes. It had a rack and thermostat. I don't think I have any of those animals anymore. I highly doubt it. I know one was a male pied. I remember that.
No,
that wasn't from that. So I ended up, it was a Craigslist deal. I think it was $1,000 for the 10 snakes, I only wanted a few of those out of there, So we kept a few and I sold the rest, and I made more than my money back. Plus I got the snakes that I did keep, plus the rack, and then the thermostat. And then, so now I got adults. And then I did it again. I did it the first, I think I bought like 4 collections like in the first 2 years or something like that. But because I had adults already, I actually started breeding it. I had my very first year of getting back into it, I had 2 clutches. And the next year I had 14 clutches, and then we were just hooked, from there.
And then it spiraled.
Yeah. And at that time, it was like, just like a lot of people when they first get into it, they're not paying attention to the genetics and all that. I ended up with a bunch of like single gene females. I had a pied here and there. I didn't have a clown probably till 3 years in, I think, or something like that. I can't remember.
I think it was a little sooner than that.
Yeah. And then maybe, yeah. And then, I don't know, probably 2019 or 20, it's when I like really started to pay attention to stuff, and
changed our whole project.
I mean, I did buy another 1 or 2 collections after that, but it wasn't like from strangers on Craigslist, I was really like being particular and all that stuff. So
you were kind of starting to fine tune everything.
Yeah, starting to really learn stuff and figure out, the genetics a lot better and everything. And I'd say last year was probably our biggest year of spending, but we ended up buying, upgrading a lot of animals. She got heavy into the geckos, so she has a whole room in the other house. This house here, we have 2 houses, so this is basically a pool house, and it's a reptile house. I actually built it for a cabinet shop many years ago. Then I turned it into a house, and now it's all snakes, and we have uromastyx in the other room. So yeah, that's where we're at. Like I said, we started really paying attention like 2-3 years ago, getting a lot smarter on pairings and stuff like that. Still kind of on a budget, so a lot of the stuff I'm making my own double heads and stuff like that. Yep. If I had the money, I would go out and buy double visuals and, really advance and stuff like that. But, you can only work with what you got. So
I enjoy like you said, you can go out and you can buy that stuff, or you can make it, and you can select the best out of the best and all that stuff. I enjoy doing it, some might say the harder way, but you did it. It's your animals. You were able to select and fine tune, out of your stock, and I don't know. I take a little bit more pride in that than just going out and buying the stuff. Which there's nothing wrong with buying it, but you made it. I mean, there's some pride to be had there with that. I feel anyway.
And when you kind of get into this, I mean, you do have to buy a lot of stuff just to like build your collection and stuff. But I'm at the point now where I'm always going to continue buying animals. It's not going to be 15, 20 animals a year, because I'm making a lot of stuff that I'm holding back now. Stuff I can't even buy. I mean, I got a clutch in my holdback rack of Desert Ghost monsoons. Where are you going to find those at? You know what I mean? So, just a lot of the stuff I'm able to make now. And so all my major investing and stuff happened last year. I did pick up some good animals, but we're done buying racks and all that stuff. I have a cap on what I want to do. I have 1, 2, 3 55-40s with 2 levels each extra. So what is that?
I think it was like 144, 148 or something like that.
Yeah. That's how many adult tubs I have. And that's my cap. I don't want any more breeders than
for adult females.
Yeah. So as soon as I have 144 or whatever, I don't know what's 44 times 3. That's how many tubs I have for the adults.
44 times 3. God, that's
no, that can't.
No, 48 times 3.
Yeah, I was
48
say,
times 3
because that's only 130.
I'm not gonna lie. That's like a math. I would need my phone to pull.
Yeah, it's
144. 144. Yep. 144.
Okay, that's a lot of animals, though. I mean, that's not something small. That's something to where, I mean, you're talking where you should probably be able to just do that full time almost by that point.
Well, that's what the plan is. Well, you do construction too, and I do cabinets. I've been doing cabinets for 30 years, you know. And as we talked earlier, I'm 51 years old, and doing construction for so long, I've heard you mention it, being in that truck vibrating, beat your body up after so long. Every day I'm picking up cabinets over my head, you know. My knees are starting to get bad. My back's messed up a little bit, you know, and just starting to get old and doing this kind of stuff.
That stuff.
What's that?
I said, I bet your back's messed up lifting that stuff around and horsing, you know, like hossing it around.
Yeah,
and all
I had some injuries. Like I rolled a van like 5 times once, and that kind of didn't help me either, and some other stuff. So yeah, I've survived death probably a good four times, I'd say.
Sheesh.
I had, 15 sheets of melamine plywood fall on me one time and pinned me up against a table saw that was turned on. You know, ended up like
broken a couple ribs.
Like the plywood was melamine board, 3/4 inch melamine, which I believe was like 80 pounds per sheet or something like that.
I was just saying, I don't think that stuff's light.
No, there's 15 sheets of it. And
I know, because I'm the one that had to pick it all.
Yeah, so I'm running a table saw. And it's a big unit, like a $5,000 unisaw. That's what this building used to be, my cabinet shop, because I used to fabricate, you know. And when you stack plywood up against the wall, you can't lean it because after a while it'll start to bow and warp. So I had to keep it kind of straight. And then the last one I would kick off at an angle to kind of hold it. So as I would grab a sheet, I would kick the next one out. So I went to go grab a sheet one time, and before I was able to kick the next one out, I'm holding the sheet. I can't see all the stack behind me. And it just like one, and then bam, bam. And it's like a jackhammer, just boom, boom, boom. And it just got heavier and heavier. And it's pushing my back up against the corner of the table saw. And it's starting to penetrate through my skin. And it actually broke my back rib bone. And I'm yelling for her. You know, I could not pick it up, man. It got so heavy. I couldn't lift it up because, you know, 8 times 15 or 80 pounds times 15 sheets, you know, that's a lot of weight. You know what I mean? It's almost 1,300 pounds or something like that.
It was a lot.
So she came in there and, you know, she grabbed 2-3 sheets at a time, lifting them up off of me.
Well, that's because your adrenaline is running, and it's like
she was getting ready to leave. She was leaving in like 10 minutes.
I was actually in the front yard where I heard him yelling all the way in the back. And I just ran to the back of the house, and luckily I heard him because otherwise I wouldn't have been here.
I was gonna say that could have been a very bad situation there.
I'd enjoy it. Like a lot of math on this episode. Yeah, I'll try to keep the math out of it.
I say I gotta use my fingers and toes to count. So if it's beyond 10, we're screwed. Or actually 20.
I'm a math teacher. I got us covered.
All right, awesome. See, everybody, we're good. We're good. We don't have to do math. We got the math teacher with us. That's equivalent to 3 Andre the Giants. Okay. I was like, Andrea. Like, who the hell's Andrea? It's like, wait a minute here. It's like Andre the Giant. Okay.
Yeah, that's a big guy, boy. I remember seeing him. Watching him wrestle back in the day.
I vaguely remember Andre. I remember Macho Man Randy Savage very well and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. We see him every now and then. Hulk Hogan.
Oh, really?
We used to. Yeah, he used to live. I don't know if he still does, but I remember we'd run into him a few times here and there. I seen him at the dentist one time. It's weird. He walks in and they take, you know, obviously they don't have him sitting in the waiting room. They just take him right in the back there. So
yeah. No. All right. Did you ever like just go up to him and go, brother?
No.
No. Oh.
No.
See, yeah, I would have had to have done that. I mean, I know I probably would have got the crap kicked out of me and all that stuff, but I would have had to do it just once.
Yeah, I tried to smack him in the ass one time real hard, but his bodyguards tackled me, so that didn't work out.
I can't imagine he needs a bodyguard, though.
I
don't know, man. His back's pretty messed up.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Yeah. He's got years of doing all that stuff. Even though a lot of people say it's fake and all that. What is she doing?
I mean, it may be staged, but I mean, they're still hitting that.
Oh, they're flipping around and smashing into tables and all. That's still that stuff's still there.
There's still some real pain involved there.
Right.
Oh shoot. Yeah. Dude, I can't get over the table saw thing, and that freaks me out just thinking about it. Like, you're damn lucky, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
I even she keeps kicking me because she don't want me to tell this one.
What are you talking about?
I said I even got shot at one time, and the guy standing behind me got shot twice. So that was pretty damn close, But I'll tell you the rest of that story off air.
Okay, I was gonna say, good grief, Jeremy. You do dance around death a little bit here.
That's my younger days.
Not no more.
Yeah. Having kids saved me, is to say that.
The same thing here. I used to do some. Let's just say I used to do some street racing stuff back in the day on the smaller end, but I had a good time with it. But kids stopped me from, they straightened my ass out on that one too. I have Dom to thank for that one.
I don't know why it just reminded me of me and this kid friend of mine. I ain't gonna say his name, but they're like 14 years old. Used to ride around the neighborhoods, BMX bikes, and for some reason we wanted to do this thing we would call, and don't recommend this for anybody. We would call, let's go get a chase. That's what we call. Hey man, you guys want to go get a chase? We'd go in the middle of the highway and grab. We're in Florida, so there are oranges everywhere. So we start throwing oranges at cars until somebody starts chasing us, man.
Oh, Jesus.
We had one driving through neighborhoods, man, and we ended up, his older brother was having a keg party at the house, So they're chasing us through this neighborhood, running through yards, hitting mailboxes and stuff like that. And we roll up to this party with all these people, and just it ended there. They left. But anyways, I don't know why your car racing reminded me of that. But.
Well, you were racing there again, racing for your life.
Yeah, we did stupid stuff to try to keep busy, I guess. But don't recommend that. I shouldn't be saying this kind of stuff on live.
It's not recommended to try doing any of this, folks.
Don't throw oranges at cars on the interstate.
It wasn't the interstate.
Or no, it was Park Boulevard. Yeah.
I used to. This is really off topic. I apologize, everybody. And where my grandmother lived, there was this driveway is like on the biggest slope, almost like on the side of the mountain, basically. And a friend of mine, we'd get on our skateboards, we put on 4-wheeler helmets. That way we were trying to be safe doing this. But we'd go up on top of this driveway, and like I said, it was steep as all hell going down. And we'd go down on our skateboards and we'd ram into each other, trying to see who would fall off first.
Did you ever jump people, like on not beat them up, but like a skateboard ramp, and you'd have I used to do that. Like I did a lot of skateboarding and BMX biking and stuff, but we would make ramps, and then we would have like 10 kids just lay down behind the ramp to see how many kids we can jump. You know how dangerous that is if we like crashed in, the internal bleeding that they would have. But that's the kind of stupid stuff we did, man.
We did. We didn't think about any of the. We were invincible.
Oh yeah. Back when you used to drink out of strangers' water hoses.
I think I'm just glad we had daughters and not boys.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully my son isn't watching this at all. Hey, it's okay. Dad did it. We're good to go here.
You're going to have to mark this one private.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Dom, do not watch. Oh God.
All right. We're not losing watchers over my stories, are we?
No. We're good. We're at, I don't know if I exactly trust this counter, but it says there's 20 people watching. I don't know. All right. I was waiting for my buddy Danny to show up here in the chat. Jeremy wore a helmet in the school bus and licked windows. Danny, I did, but they were the cleanest freaking windows in school. So you can shove
Jeremy,
it, bro.
the window washer.
Exactly. Good to see you, Danny. Thanks for tuning in, bro. So how many species are you guys working with?
I think I counted the other day. I think we have 9.
Well, did you count the dogs, the cats, the mice, the rats, the flies, the dino,
no. Well, no.
Okay.
We're not breeding dogs.
Species. He didn't say species we breed. Species we have.
Well, then it's way more than that. Then we've got 9, 10.
Okay, so let's start
11,
with the mammals.
12, 13.
Dogs,
14.
cats, fennec fox.
Oh wait, a fox.
Norwegians.
Yeah,
that's our daughter. She still lives with us, though.
Yeah, she has a fennec fox.
But it's here. You hear it in the morning. It sounds like you're in West Africa or
then
something.
Then we have, I have crested geckos.
Okay.
Gargoyle geckos.
Well, they're just pets. Then we have Ackie monitors, a green tree python. We've got.
Ooh, I want a green tree again so bad.
Yeah, they're cool. Pied pectinatas, redfoot tortoises, rhino iguanas, Chinese box turtles, ornate ear mastics, boas, Central American boas, ball pythons, and I think that's it. I know. I feel like we're missing something too. It's a lot, but I think that's it. Because I counted from the house all the way.
Yeah,
up,
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think.
And then the 3 species of rodents.
Yeah.
So you guys, all right. So how big's your rodent operation to feed all of this?
Large.
All right, I'll just give you the racks that I have. I have I think I might be off on how many tubs are in the racks, but they're ARS racks. So the 50 series, I want to say it's 34 or something like that. I don't know. Somebody in the chat might know. But I have the 50 series rodent rack. That's what I keep all the ASFs in. Then I have 2 70 series ARS rodent racks, which I keep the Norwegians in. And then I have like a homemade rack with 10 series tubs that I keep the mice in. So I got 2 70s, 1 55. I got one that somebody made. It's an aluminum rack. I think that holds 1850 series tubs. I use that for like holding on my weans and stuff like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 large rodent racks.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I think it's a 15 by.
Then you've got all those laboratory ones.
Yeah, then I have those laboratory tub type things where they're the clear tubs with the stainless steel screen lids, bottles. I have 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12 of those. So yeah, it's pretty decent size. Yeah. I use that for like all the hoppers and like the small ASFs. I put them in there. That way they can get the food and the water like much easier till they get a little bit bigger.
Okay. So, now, is that enough to feed all of your collection?
Yes,
or
and
I still have to outsource a little bit.
No, I'm actually at the point where I'm starting to sell some now.
Not a lot.
Okay, nice.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, like every year, what I'll do is like when everything starts going off food, I'll start to get like an abundance and I'll gas them off. I did a video on how to build a CO2 gas chamber. It's on my YouTube.
Go to the YouTube, everybody. Links in the description.
So I would fill the freezer up, and then I would keep them, for just in case anything happens. If the AC goes out in the rodent room, I have some kind of extra supply to hold me over for a little bit. But I date everything, so when they start to get like a couple months old, then I'll just put them up for sale. So I have. Oh my God! Did the dog just fart?
Yes, she did.
Did you guys hear that?
The puppy.
No, but your face was priceless.
Because I know what's coming after that. First you hear the sound, and then it's like, whew.
She's back.
But yeah, it's a new puppy we got recently. What was I saying now? Oh, yeah. So I'm at the point where I actually just changed the way I breed my rodents. Before, what I used to do is I would, like on the Norwegians especially, I would pull out any of the pregnant ones and I would set them up in their own like separate tub and let them have their babies and stuff like that. My problem is when they were done and the babies were weaned, I would find another tub where there needed to be another female added, and I would put it back into that where the male was. So I would do like a 1.5. But me pulling the females out and never knowing what tubs are going back into, I was never really knowing how old they were. So like I started like 8 months ago, just talking to some people. I'm keeping them together the whole time. Like I'm doing a 1.5 and I'm actually dating them and I'm not pulling them out. I'm keeping the the pregnant females in with the colony the whole time. That way it can keep track. Because what happens is, I probably have females that are like 2 years old, 2.5 years old. They're having smaller litters. It's the same amount of food you're feeding them and cleaning and all that, but you're not getting as much good production.
Yeah.
Pulling out the females. So that's what I'm doing for now on. And I've noticed my production it takes a while to do the whole room like that.
Yeah.
To get all brand new ones. Because you're also pulling stuff that you need to feed. So it takes a little bit of time. But I've got probably at least half of one of the 70 series where they're all new. Young breeders and stuff, and you're getting between 10 and 15 per litter instead of you get a 2-year-old girl that might give you 6. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's time to kind of.
I've been noticing a lot of. What's that?
It's time to send her off the pasture then at that point. And
yes, and that's the thing. I didn't date anything, so it's like I just kind of can tell when they start to get old. They look a little mangy looking or whatever. And then the other thing is sometimes they'll get tumors and all that. Anybody that breeds rodents, and they'll know what I'm talking about. They get the little tumors and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, when they get like 2.5 years old, I think their lifespan is 3 years. And I just never knew how old they were. But now, because I'm doing it this way, I've noticed my production going up a lot, so I have, like, I'm selling them now. Like, I had somebody come today. I had somebody come yesterday. And I'm almost at the point where I'm going to start gassing them off and maybe start advertising, for live if they want live,
Okay. Now, how long do you spend taking care of all the rats and all that stuff? Like, because I've often thought of, like, I'm torn. I've thought about doing it because I've got a shed I could do it in, but it's just the outfitting the shed to make it, proper to house the rodents, and then the time aspect. That I think that the time is the bigger thing than anything for me.
Yeah. Every day we go in there. Every day I get home from work, I'll go in there and I'll top off the waters, top off the food. Usually the ARS racks, you don't need to, whenever I clean them is when you add new food to them. But I
will say the way you've got the rat shed set up now, it is much easier than what it was for us at the beginning.
Yeah. One of the things that she's talking about is my watering system. I don't know if you guys use just a little bottles, or do you use like the 5-gallon buckets on top of your racks that you have, your rodent racks?
I don't have any rodent racks.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No. I've been torn to start breeding or just keep buying frozen thawed. Like, I've got the collection size to where it would justify breeding my own. It's just the time aspect, especially with having the new baby. It's like time is really not a friend of mine at the moment.
Okay, so I'll have to do a video on it one day, but my rodent building is also connected to my rhino iguana enclosure. So I have plumbing that goes into the rodent building, and then I have a piece of PVC that goes up, and then it branches off to, I think, either 6 or 7 shutoff valves. Each one of those shutoff valves goes to PVC after that, and it goes to each bucket that's on top. So instead of me walking in with a garden hose and filling up the water buckets, climbing up the ladder, back down, climbing up the next, I just go to what do they call it? Like, I guess you can call it like a manifold or something, where you turn one on, or you can turn off 5 or 6 of them on at the same time, and they'll just fill up where you're just standing in one spot. You don't have to drag up and down the ladder and the hose and all that stuff.
And it only takes
that saves a lot of time. Yeah. So every day I'll go in and top the waters off in those buckets. And then what are we calling the little tubs? The lavatory tubs. I got to manually fill those bottles up and top off the food and all that. So, but you learn tricks, for, saving time on that. I only clean the rodents. A lot of people do it once a week. I do it once every 2 weeks. Okay. So I try to keep it clean. I've got really good airflow and stuff like that. I don't keep the colonies really big or anything. When they have babies and they get weaned, as soon as they're weaned, they go into their own separate tub. So there's not like, 30 rats in the 70 series tub just pooping all over the place,
Yeah.
And when I do that, I actually have my nephew that comes down and helps me every other week. He'll come down on a Friday, and me and him will just go at it. And for all that,
but then we pay for his help. So
yeah, we pay him.
There are some other expenses into that as well.
But it saves you how much money, though? Just, I mean,
it saves him a lot of time.
If I had to buy, I got about 300 snakes. That, that's with the boas and stuff. If I had to feed everything every week or every other week, it would
would be astronomical food.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of money. So for the 3 or 4 hours that it takes me every other week to clean with the help that I get, and then it's probably half hour after work every day in the rodent at the most. They'll go in there and top everything off, so it's not too bad. Definitely saves.
I might end up having to just bite the bullet because I like you said. I mean, it is expensive to feed. Every I do all the adults and anything above 200 grams. It's every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but still, that still adds up. Luckily, I don't know what rat prices are down there. For like a small, I think I'm spending like $1.80 roughly.
They're a little more here
to $2 in that neighborhood.
They're probably $2.50 to $3.
Well, it depends on bulk. If you're,
if you're going to a regular reptile pet shop or something. Now, if you're going to say a rodent breeder, I don't even know the prices of that because I never had to do that before.
Okay, that's actually from I get stuff from Chris there at BNS, and then I have another rack guy, Rick's Rodents.
Yeah. What do you spend weekly? On average, let's say on average in a month. What do you spend a month on rodents? Because I know you do some every other week, which I do too. But
in all honesty, Jeremy, I've never sat down and looked at that number. I just, when Husbandry Pro says, "Hey, you're low on rodents," I think it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna buy X amount of bags, and that'll get me through until Husbandry Pro tells me I need to go get more again.
Right.
I should probably look at a little bit closer now that you say that. But I mean, I think my last order was from. I got some from Chris, and then a little bit before I got some from Rick. Just say my last order combined was, I'm going to say $500 roughly, ballparking. And that probably lasted me, I don't know, 3 months maybe.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah.
I might be a little off on my numbers. Because like I said, the adults get fed every 2 weeks. And then anything over 200 grams, even hatchling wise, if it's over 200, I switch it over to, every 2 weeks on that as well.
And how many snakes do you have that you're feeding?
Oh, it's like maybe, it was 60-ish. Now it's probably like 70, 80.
It grows fast.
If you include the new baby carpets that are sitting, it's probably closer to 80 now.
So thinking about that, you said 500 about every 3 months.
Roughly, yeah.
1,500 probably at least for us every 3 months. Thinking about
for rodents to buy them,
if we were to buy them, because we have 300.
No, it would. Yeah, it would. I think it would be more.
Think so?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe closer to, because we do every week on the hatchlings, and we got a lot of hatchlings, and a lot of grow ups and stuff. I don't know the exact numbers, and you also got to think, you also got to I seen, who was it that said something that rodent cleaning is a lot of work.
Yeah, another beast morphs.
Yeah, another trick that I actually have a cleaning station that's right outside that's kind of covered, in case it's raining or something like that. And what I do is I use a pressure washer. I use an electric pressure washer. It's a DeWalt, and it, I used to use like just a regular garden hose and kind of scrub every tub. If you use a pressure washer, things go a lot quicker, And when my nephew's here, he basically runs the pressure washer while I'm filling up the tubs and moving the rodents. So it makes things a lot quicker.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of different tricks you can use. There is expenses. You got to get bedding, the food. And my ASFs, I I give them, hard-boiled eggs. I give them once a week. I do black oil seed, and I do another mixture of like nuts and
mealworms,
seeds, and then I buy dry mealworms, and I kind of make this mixture for them. So there's a little bit of expense, but it's still definitely worth breeding my own for the amount of time it takes. And then I have every different size that I need for all the different size animals that I have too. So
that's true. And then on top of it, like ASFs, they're a little bit pickier because they need a higher protein diet, correct? Because
yes, they're the ones. That's the ones.
And everything.
That's the ones that I give the hard-boiled egg to. I just break it in half, leave the shell in there and everything, and then I also give them the black oil seed with dried mealworms, and then nuts and berry blend, and I just kind of mix it all together. And I give them like a scoop in each tub, so. It gives them that extra protein and stuff. Also, that's the other thing. If you have ASFs, sometimes their first litter or two, they'll go after the babies and kill them or whatever. Or if they start to get old, they'll start killing off like the other breeders that are in the tubs with them. ASFs, you got to keep them as colonies the whole time. You almost got to put them in weaned and let them grow up together for breeders, and don't ever take the male or females out. If you lose your males, you can't add a different male. You almost got to feed them off.
Oh, jeez, that's so weird. Wonder why they're like that.
I don't know.
They're not accepting the new people or new animals.
I thought it was weird. I thought they were African rats, man, but they're a man-made rodent, which is crazy. So
they're a man-made rodent.
Yeah, well, they're hybrids.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a gerbil. I'm not sure what type of gerbil that was bred to either a mouse or a rat or something like that. So there's no such thing as ASFs that were actually in the wild. There are some scientists I believe in Africa.
Dave Kaufman did that.
Yeah, when Dave Kaufman did a video, he was talking about that. So.
Okay, I remember him saying something about no one, when he did the ball python video, that no one over there had ever heard of an African soft fur rat.
Yeah, because
I didn't see anything, or if he explained it afterwards, I must have missed it.
I work by myself all day, so I listen to a lot of listen to a lot of the YouTube stuff at work. A lot of times I'll jump on a live and just get in the chat for a few minutes here and there. But I usually save them, when I'm at work, because I'm by myself inside a house putting cabinets up.
Oh, okay. See, that's good use of the time. I can't, sadly, I can never listen to anything because all I hear is them clanking around on my tracks on my machine. Jamie here wants to know, how or what ratio do you restart a colony? 1.5, 2.5?
Okay, so then the regions, I do 1.5. The ASFs, I do 2.5. And I used to do 2.7 on my rats, but I'm actually going to switch, or my mice, I'm sorry. I'm actually going to switch that over to 1.3. And I just been talking to some people recently, and they were saying, when you have that many mice inside of a tub, how many do you actually see that have babies and stuff? It's usually 2 or 3 at a time. So I'm just going off of what somebody else told me. They said you get really good production when it's only like a 1.3.
And dirty in the tub a lot faster.
Yeah, because you're having them in a 10 series tub, so they're smaller tubs. And a 1.3. And I looked. I was looking at all my different mice tubs and stuff, and it was always like 1 or 2 pregnant ones that'll have litters at a time. I've never seen, like when I had 2.7 in there, I never seen like more than 4 of them that were pregnant at a time or whatever. So I don't know how true that is, but I'm just going to do the 1.3 because I don't use too many mice. I only use those to get for the hoppers, just to kind of get the hatchlings, the first meals or whatever. So
do you have anything else that eats the mice, or is it just basically you just breed the mice strictly for hatchlings and that?
Well, we'll have a bad paycheck and we can't fill our fridge up. I'll sometimes just fry them up myself and make mice. That's it.
Just fried mouse legs.
No, I'm starving.
Okay, all right. Jay says he doesn't have a lot of snakes. He has around 50 to 60. See, this is where I'm at. I haven't started, Windy City, where was it? They had said up here about, they got to start breeding their own feeders soon. But I'm right there with them. Like $2, like that's that $1.80, $2 per rodent. For small to medium. I think a medium might be $2.50 for me, something like that. But that's really hard to turn down just buying it and let somebody else do all the freaking work.
Yeah, you're kind of like at that borderline there, where like if you got maybe 30 more snakes or more, then maybe it would be worth start breeding. But at your point, you gotta worry about where you're going to store the bedding, where you're going to store the food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to have storage for if you're buying food, you want to get it like at a pallet at a time so the price per bag is cheaper, same with the bedding. So you got to keep those few things in mind too. And then the extra work, how much is your time for the work? And if you don't need that many, it's probably worth just keep doing buying them like you're doing now.
I totally wish that was one thing we did not have to do.
What's that? The rodents? Yeah. It's a worry because sometimes, because I'm in Florida.
Well, our AC bill does go higher at this time because we do have to run an AC in there as well.
Yeah. So we have one of those I used to use a wall unit, but wall units, you almost got to change them every 2 years just because of the ammonia that's in the urine and stuff, so you're always changing the ACs. So I have a lot of fans that I have one on one side of the room that brings air in. I have one on the side and one on the other side that blows air out. And then I also have another fan that's inside that just moves air around. That's actually on a solar panel.
Okay.
And then I have another fan that's just like a wall unit that blows it. So I got a lot of airflow inside. So when it's really hot, I keep the inside fans on, but as far as the exhaust and the fan that brings it stuff in from outside, I turn those off and leave the air on. But I found out that if you add extra filters, they got these, I can't remember the name of the filters, but it reminds you of, the green scrubby pads that you do dishes with.
Yeah.
Okay, so one side is like that green, and I think the other side is like blue, and it has like this plastic grate that's on there. You just throw the grate away, but you almost got to cut that filter and put it over top of the original AC filter and tape it on just for like a backup filter.
Extra protection.
And it saves it a little bit. It saves your air conditioners because they will burn up your AC. I mean, there's different tricks you can do for air conditioners, but when it's something small like a 15 by 15 building, that's perfectly good for what we got going on.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Now, back to the species and stuff you're working with. Which one out of all, other than the ball pythons, is your favorite to work with? And you both can answer this one.
Favorite to work? All right. I thought you were going to say if I had to get rid of.
Well, you do yours and I'll do mine.
All right. If I had to get rid of everything, I'll answer it like this. Okay. I like working with the ball pythons. To answer your question real quick, just because it's open like Christmas presents every time you get clutches. Everything's different. You know what I mean? But if something happened where I had to get rid of all of my animals and was only allowed to keep, besides the dogs are always going to be here. But as far as the reptiles, if I had to get rid of everything, for whatever reason, I would keep at least one of the rhino iguanas. That's because I don't know, they're just cool. They're have a lot of
dinosaur looking.
They're dinosaur looking.
They are.
I almost feel like Godzilla's face was replicated off of a rhino iguana's face. If you look at it, that would be the one. If I had to get rid of all the reptiles for whatever reason, and I can only keep one, it would be one of the rhino iguanas. Now, my favorite ones to work with, right now, is the ball pythons. Like I said, there's so many different things you can get. It's like it's almost like playing poker. You get different hands. You could get a flush in one hand, and then you can get a pair of twos in another. You know what I mean? It's just exciting. So. And
mine is completely different. I love our ornate uromastics. They're one of my favorites to work with. Now, probably my favorite to breed right now is my crested geckos, because I've got a lot of good projects going on with those.
Now, what projects are you working on with the Cresteds? Because I know a lot of like Danny, they're at DTMG. He's getting into the Crested Gecko stuff.
Yeah.
Nathan, there are Infinite Possible Pythons. He's getting into the Crested Gecko stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of projects are you working with on the Crested?
This year I have going charcoal lily whites. So I work a lot with charcoals, and I have a lot of extreme Harley Quinn stuff and true pink from Fringe Morphs. I have some projects from them. And then I also have a possible cappuccino that I'm working with right now. So trying to see if I can make some frappuccinos from those. Okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to hopefully next season, I'm crossing fingers. I hope to make a pink lily white. Ooh. That's my goal.
Now, will it actually have pink tones? Because I'm completely Crested Gecko ignorant.
That's the goal. I do have geckos that have pink tones.
Okay.
You can go on my Instagram or his Instagram and see those.
I think is it my name or is it Bauds Exotics?
I think either or.
Yeah. What up, John? But yeah, I know Danny there at DTMG. He's working a lot of Exantic and Lily White stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the other stuff he is working with, but I just remember the Exantic stuff, of course.
Yeah, Exantic's the recessive line.
Now, is charcoal similar to Exantic?
No. It's dark though.
Would you consider that like a GHI and a ball python, like a charcoal?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would probably the closest thing you could say. I don't know. My male,
maybe chocolate.
My males almost turn black like Exantic. Ooh. So, but then they fired down to a light gray. So
see, that would be a neat looking. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Kike for the win. Thanks, bro.
Yay.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. Obviously everybody knows I love Exantic stuff, but like my goal for like with the carpet python stuff, everybody, how everybody loves the black and yellow jungles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to keep, I think I've picked out a female that has very little yellow or what should become yellow. She's going to be a lot of black though. I'm going to try to see if I can't line breed and make hopefully an all black carpet python. If not, something that's just got very minimal yellow. So that's one of my goal projects I'm going to be working on here.
Nice.
One thing good about, the Exantics and her geckos is like they don't turn brown like the TSK Exantic.
Hey, now. Somebody had to make that. I'm surprised it wasn't this guy right here that just took a jab at charcoal. Danny.
Yeah, I have nothing to say because your Exantics are going down in price. They're already at 2,000. People are selling Exantics now for already.
Yeah, it's crazy how much they were last year to this year, man.
Well, I know when I had what was it? Is it Brian from Altitude Exotics?
Brian.
I had him on earlier in the year, and it was funny. We got to talking about the Exantic stuff then too.
It's nice.
And after that live, like I'm going to say that the rest of that whole week, I was getting messages from gecko breeders saying, hey, if you wanted an Exantic crested gecko, I can hook you up with this. And I'd say, all right, well, how much? And they were throwing out like a $5,000 price tag. It's like, I'm not spending $5,000 on something that's just going to be in a cage. I'm just going to look at and never use.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not going to do anything for me.
They are expensive, but
they're beautiful though.
Yeah, they are very beautiful, but the prices are coming down now. I think because, there's more out there now. Everybody's making them now. So
it's kind of,
if you're doing this as a business, if you're doing this whole thing as a business, that's one of the things you got to kind of pay attention to. If you see something go crazy and everybody's just going crazy over and getting it, like Desert Ghost Clowns last year and the year before, everybody's doing everything with that. So you're going to see, I think in the next 2 years, you're going to see that go down dramatically,
I had the chance to do Exantic or my true pink lines. So I went to the pink line instead.
Okay.
with that.
See, that I mean, it drew your passion a little bit more. So that's, that speaks volumes in my opinion. And
yeah.
Here's Danny.
Yeah,
Koreans
got them really
Korean.
He's not lying. The Koreans do have them really cheap right now.
We seen him at a Tampa show. She saw.
Yeah, they just recently they had 100% het Xanthics for $750 and visuals for $2,000.
So now, is the crested gecko more? Because everything for up here anyway, everything I hear, crested geckos are like the new hot commodity. Like they outsell ball pythons at the moment, stereotypically, at shows. Danny, drop in the comments there how many to one.
I mean, it very, I'll say it really varies with us because we do bring multi-species to shows, and like you'll be surprised. One time we'll just sell, mostly ball pythons. The next time we'll sell mostly crested geckos or the pied pectinatas or the rhino iguanas. It really varies on what comes in the door.
Yeah, like we just did the Tampa show last weekend, and she killed it. She brought, she killed it on the crested geckos.
I only have 6 available left.
I was surprised at how many she sold. So she did better on that than I did with the ball pythons.
Yeah,
I say her and I, even though it's we, but you know what I mean. She does the crusteds. I don't even get involved. I don't even know what those are. She has them on there as names. Like she names each one of them. I'm like, what if something ever happened? I'm not going to know what the hell these things are, so I let her deal with that. That's her thing. She loves it. She's in there all the time, so.
That was the best thing. Like I remember when Danny was getting into the crested gecko stuff, he was bashing on how there wasn't like genetics. Like it was
very different.
It was like this, they were labeling things differently. And he was like making so much fun about it. And how it made no sense to him whatsoever. But now here he is. He's probably got just as many crested geckos as he does ball pythons now.
Well, a lot of the crested geckos, they're polygenic. So it kind of goes into that DG stuff that is kind of happening now. So it's very confusing, especially when you have multi-species and you're trying to figure out genetics between the different species. It's easy to get confused.
That's one thing. I don't know how you guys keep everything straight. My brain would be spitting out the wrong thing for the wrong species, and
that's why she does that, and I'm like the ball pythons. Like I take care of that, and I'm the one that does a lot
about the ball pythons.
Yeah, she knows a lot about that, because we both kind of started off in that together. But like I'm the one that does all the pairings and all that, and she does it all with the geckos. The pectinatas, they're all the same. You know what I mean? You got the panda dragons. You got a panda. There's no there's no different morphs you're trying to mix or anything. Just like the rhinos. You know what I mean? So there's nothing there. You got them in the cage. You don't even need to do anything with them. They do their own thing in there. You just go in there, make sure you're feeding them and giving them water and just clean the cage every now and then.
The ornates are the same way.
So it's not really. Easy. I mean, I've had a couple people say, "Man, it must be kind of confusing. How do you stay on top of things?" And how you're putting all your energy and thoughts into breeding the ball pythons, when you got cresteds and all that. Well, technically,
we separate it.
Yeah, she does the crested, I do the balls, and we both kind of interact with each other on both. But as far as like the pairings and the plans that she has is all for the crested, and me with the ball pythons. Of course, we do it together, kind of. We'll talk about different pairings and stuff like that. At least in the ball pythons.
And when we're at shows, I have to know about the ball pythons because this one likes to wander away from the table, and I'm left there. So,
but the thing is, you guys can each wander off. If I go to wander, my help is normally sleeping.
All you gotta do with that is you take their shoe off and you put a match in their toe and you light it. That'll wake them up. Or a firecracker if you want to.
I just keep threatening him, telling him that if he sleeps too long, Danny's gonna get him. But Dom, I always enjoy having Dom with me because it does give me that chance to get away from the table. But there was one show he didn't go along with me, and I was behind the table the whole day, never got to see anything. And it's like, wow, the show was fun, but it's like it kind of sucked because I just felt like I needed that just 5 minutes of, I don't want to say a break, but 5 minutes just to reset slightly, and I didn't get it.
Yeah, just like TDMG said, lineage is key in crested geckos.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why she has the names on there. So somebody buys something, they can go back to that particular name. And I think who was the one guy that does that too?
What do you mean?
Who was the one you said you interviewed with?
Brian.
Yeah, does he have the lineage where like certain people want a baby from a certain particular crested gecko?
Probably. Well, I mean, in the crested gecko world, it's weird. Everybody names their geckos. So you go up to somebody and say, "Hey, I'm looking at Rusty's babies. Do you have any of them with you?" So it's just kind of weird in that sense. They're not looking for, say, a super Dalmatian or whatever.
Yeah. So somebody comes up to you and they're like, "Hey, for an example, I'm looking for a TSK, aka brown snake." I just had to do it again. But like they're looking for a particular, like say a super Dow. They're not looking, "Hey, do you have any super Dows?" If it's somebody that's really looking for something lineage based, they're looking at one of her particular, like if she has a really nice super Dow versus another one that she's breeding, and they want the one, I don't even know the names of one of your super Dows for an example, but they would say, "Hey, can I have one of Mickey's babies?" That's what why
it's
lineage.
kind of the same thing with the carpet pythons. I get you. I completely understand where you're at with that.
Well, and what I do with the Husbandry Pro, this is what I like to use it for, because I use it a little bit differently than what he does. If I buy a gecko from somebody, I'll put pictures in there of that gecko, but then I also put the parent pictures in to the Husbandry Pro. So I'll always have those, and I'll have the names of the parents, so I can go back and say, okay, well, this was this one's parents and this one was this one's parents, and go back.
I agree with what's his name? Anyway?
Are the weirdest
she's pretty weird.
Thanks. That's the way he breeds them too.
You get one day. You guys should come up and meet Danny, or Danny should go down there and meet you guys. Danny is a character. We all
we'll be at Tinley, every Tinley show, and we're vending Daytona so.
And all that. Yeah.
Okay. I know one of these days I need to hit a Tinley.
Oh, you definitely got to go there. Yeah,
it's so much fun.
Yeah, we got 2 tables. Thank God we're able to get it. Yeah, there's a lot of friends that I know that's been on a wait list, but because we have so many different species, we're able to slide in there. So.
That's one thing where I think it does help if you work in multiple species compared to just ball pythons. Like, you got to, like, I always hate saying this. You go to the majority of reptile shows, it is mainly ball pythons. At every table, it's ball pythons.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see other species there just kind of accenting everything. Like, that's one reason why I got into carpets was I always wanted carpet pythons. They stand out like a sore freaking thumb, like real quick, especially if you have a nice adult on display or something. I mean, that's a snake that just pops.
Yeah.
Nathan, thanks for reminding Danny that he needs to get to bed, bro.
I was turning the camera around and caught my dog chewing on her damn toe, like had her whole foot in her mouth.
She's a puppy, so we have to keep an eye on her 24/7.
Blue Zombie says, my incubator runs at 89 and 90. Should the eggs be okay? Blue Zombie, are you talking ball python eggs or what? If you're talking ball python eggs, I run my incubator at like 89.5 or something like that. I try to keep it to where if it spikes up a little bit, it only spikes up to like 90, like 90.5, something like that.
I would also recommend we use sensor push in all of our incubators. In my I have them in like all our rooms too. Like every room, we don't have any reptiles in the same room together. Everything separate.
Has its own separate room.
Yeah, so we have a room just for the Uromastics. That's in this building here. This room here is all ball pythons. I have a quarantine room for the ball pythons in our main house. So I don't even, I don't just put them in a different room for the quarantine. Anything that we bring in, it actually goes in a whole nother house.
The crested geckos have their own spare bedroom.
The
in the
boas,
main house.
our boas, we only have 5 of those, but they have a whole nother, they're part of this house, but it's in another you can't even get to
room.
it without walking outside. So I have that whole room closed off from here, So we keep everything.
So that's how you guys keep all these different species at their different requirements.
Yeah, that was one of the things.
And that way they don't, there's no cross contamination. You don't have anything sharing anything. So it helps eliminate any of that stuff. Even the outside enclosures are far apart from one another. So they're not even butted up to one another.
Yeah, all my show stuff is on that side of the room. And then like all my breeders and holdbacks are like all, I'll show you. It starts there and then it goes all the way around to there. And then, there's the Star Wars stuff.
And then our babies
our hatchlings. That's all our hatchlings racks. And then there's an incubator right behind here, behind the cart. And then I have some, overflow hatchling racks. You can't really see it in this angle here. So
everything is separated.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Now, all right, with your hatchling racks, they look like they were sea serpents.
Yes, they are. Yep.
What's your thoughts on the sea serpents compared to the new ARS Mini 130? Like, is it something where you think you're going to change it up?
No, I'm not going to change it up because I already have these. These are fairly kind of new.
Yeah.
I have no problem with the sea serpents. I believe you can actually get more space in a smaller. You can get more tubs in a smaller space with the sea serpents. I can't remember who did the math on that. And also,
I think you and Steve did.
Maybe we did. Yeah, it's very close. I think you get more tubs, and then the only difference between the sea serpents is you can use the smaller. Is it the F5s or whatever? Where
yeah,
it's either 2 of the V18s or you can use 3 of the F5s. If I'm saying it, I don't know if it's called an F5 or not. FB5 maybe, I don't know.
I think it's FB5, but yeah, I think I know what you're talking about though.
And then my my boa room, I have the sea serpents where it actually uses 3 different size tubs. It uses the oh god, what is it? The 32S or something like that, where it's short. It's either 1 big tub, 2 V18s, or 3 of the FB5s. So I like having everything match because I'm weird like that. Everything, all the racks got to be together, but they're separated in another room or another section of the room here. So yeah, I'll keep the sea serpents.
Okay.
You get more.
Sure that was something that was on your radar because I've been torn, dude. Like I like that Mini 130 looks nice. I think I did see that they're supposed to be doing it's like the half rack of the Mini 130. So it's gonna be the Mini.
Instead of,
but it's gonna be half.
It's probably gonna be three instead of 5 or something maybe. Or I don't even know how many are in each level on the Mini.
I'd have to.
It's got to be more. I don't
think there's.
I'm looking at your 10 series there. There's 5, so there's got to be 8.
At least got to be probably 10.
Yeah.
Per row, because I think the tub size. Oh wait, Danny says, Danny, how many tubs are per level, bro? I forgot you got a 130. I think it's probably at least got to be 10 per level and probably 13 levels.
Yeah, so if they're doing a half, it would be 5, I guess. But I like these. I like the sea serpents.
They just work for the purpose.
Yeah, because if I get, I'm going to have like 40 clutches this season, which what I have there would be enough. I don't even need to hit the overflow. But if I get to where I have the 144 females and say I get 100 clutches or something, I can always switch over to the V5s or the FB5s, to hold more. You know what I mean? And then this, as they sell or get bigger, I can switch them over to V18s or whatever. So I'm buying racks. The only other rack I got to get is I am picking up from Daytona.
Oh, you got another one still.
The
mouse ARS.
Oh yeah, so I am eventually going to get a mouse ARS breeder rack, but this year at Daytona I'm picking up a 80. ARS came out with a hybrid 80 for the boas. So I'm I'm not getting the whole rack. I'm just getting 3 levels where there's 2 tubs per level. Because I got, so the boas I got, they're Central American, so they don't get too much bigger than ball pythons. So 80 series tub is good for them. You know what I mean? So it has the glass, the cup holder and all.
It's got the viewing window for it, and see my buddy Mike that breeds boas. I forget which ones he runs. They're ARS though, but I do like having that glass viewing window. I know his one boa. It's nice to really have because she was rather aggressive, and I always say there's no such thing as an aggressive snake. This girl is aggressive. Like you could be if she even remotely sees you through the window, she's striking at the window. Like she's nasty.
All my boas are good. I had 2 others that I sold off, and the person that got them said that they're mean as hell. But
they weren't that way here.
He has them in a different style tub though. He has them in like an enclosure.
A tank kind of.
No, it's not a tank. It's PVC? The Vision. I think it's the Vision where it has the front sliding. I'm not sure what kind of tank.
Okay.
But what I've always done with mine, Richard Delbano with Da Vinci Boa, he's kind of like my mentor on the boas.
Okay.
And he told me like all the ones I got were from him, and he always told me, he goes, I asked him, I said, what's the best way to keep them chill and not get too aggressive or anything? He said, just take a my friend John calls it a tickle stick, but it's a snake.
He teases you.
Yeah, he teases me because I use a snake hook, but all I do is just like kind of rub them on the head a little bit. Like I'll open the tub and they'll act like there's food, they'll act like they're ready to get food or something. And as soon as I do that, they know there's no food. So I just reach in and I grab them, and it's good. So,
that's how I do for the carpets though too. Like Xander there is. You need to rub him with the snake hook religiously. I went in there a couple weeks ago, was touching with the snake hook. Granted, it was at night. I shouldn't have been an idiot in attempting to get him out at night. But I was on a live stream, I think, with Jeff and Angie and TJ and Greg from Ripping Reptiles. And anyway, I wanted to pull him out and got him part way out, and he decided, no, we ain't having this shit. And that was the first time he bit me in probably a year.
Yeah.
But normally, the hook works for him. Now, Lagatha, which is the female in the middle, I don't need a hook for her normally unless it's nighttime and, you got, like you said, you tap her and she turns off right then. Now, the little male Hercules down here below, today I went to get him out. And he's normally a gem. So I don't know what the hell his issue was today, but I touched him with the hook, and that sucker turned around and bit the hook and wrapped the hook up. I'm like, what the hell?
Jeez.
I tried to get him out 2 different times today, and he just seemed like he was amped up. And it's like, all right, dude, it's like, we're not going to mess with you. We're just going to let you alone because obviously you're having a day. But normally, like you said, you're working with them with the hook. That lets them know, hey, there's nothing coming food wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Just so with this comment here that Danny said about window tubs for the nasty corn snakes. Danny got bit by a corn snake one time at Nathan's place, and apparently it was rather hysterical. I'm not going to embarrass Danny too much, but it was a sight to be seen, to say the least. And I missed it by 30 seconds. All I know is everybody in the room was basically pissing their pants. They were laughing that hard.
Hang on, my dog's trying to chew on my cartwheel.
Jasmine,
leave it. You're not chewing on the cartwheel.
She's like drooling all over.
Puppies,
don't slip on your way out, Jeremy. That'll be the next.
I'll do it gracefully. I'll slide across the room or something before I fall and hit my head.
I'll videotape it.
I was gonna say, Jeannie's gonna be there just watching. Watch this guy here.
Me and ripped all the slob on my pants, so we're good. No slob on the floor. I just feed myself.
Oh, that takes me back to movie stuff. I apologize, everybody, but Beethoven. Remember when he's there shaking his head? Oh yeah.
She's not that bad, luckily.
She's like a bowling ball. Man.
Yeah.
So with the ball pythons, what are your favorite projects that you're working on at this point right now?
The stuff that we've never seen before. I like that. Like a lot of people know that I've been working on the genetic stripe puzzle stuff, which I'm pretty 99% sure a lot of people have looked at it. I did hit one, but it has the spider in there. Now, spider is a very strong gene. It overpowers a lot. You put a spider with Pascal, it you know what I mean? It's a very overpowering gene. So I got two clutches this
year going.
What's that?
Good night.
I said good night to Danny. Sorry,
good night,
Danny.
Good night.
Good night.
Don't let the corn snake bite.
Yeah. So I'm doing this. I got two other pairings without spider in there, and it's double head to double head. So I want to see what that looks like, because the genetic stripe spider puzzle that I did hatch out, it looks a lot like just a spider genetic stripe, a little different. You can see, and it has the puzzle eye stripes and all that.
It's just too much, Pat.
The spider overpowered it. So I'm trying to see what it looks like without that. Looking forward to that. Of course, I'm heavy into the monsoon stuff. Like I got a monsoon pieds that I could possibly get this coming up season. I said I got a 1.9 on double het monsoon desert ghost, and they're 50% pos het lavender albinos too. So
man, I got you hit a 1.9 on that.
Well, yeah, really good. Yeah.
Holy crap,
that's
dude!
Girl, she does big clutches, and I got really lucky with that one there.
That's freaking astronomical odds, dude. Prop on that one, man. Holy crap!
Now the male that I use, though, I say double het, but it's actually the male. They're actually 50% het monsoons, but you can pick out which ones are monsoons. Not all of them are going to be monsoons, but there's probably, I think I counted 5 girls that I think got the really strong marker. Some of them have Enchi. Okay. So, but I'm keeping the whole clutch just in case. You know what I mean? I'm actually going to do another one where I'm going to put the cypress and honey into the monsoon with desert ghost, cypress honey desert ghost. So I'm going to try that just to get some more DG and some other genes mixed in there.
I'm kind of curious how the cypress and the monsoon will mix together.
I got a clutch in the incubator now where it was a butter yellow belly pastel genetic stripe to that double het monsoon lavender albino. I think I got 10 eggs in the incubator for that, so I want to see what a genetic stripe monsoon looks like. So I'm working heavy with that. Desert ghost clowns, they're pretty cool. I did get a Mojave desert ghost clown I hit last year. And I got a couple cypress clowns that are 66% het desert ghost, and those boys will be going for me this year. And
quite a few things.
Yeah, I have, I think 4 or 5 chances in getting cypress DG clowns this year. I also have 3 chances in getting the Black Magic, which is a black pastel Mojave desert ghost clowns.
Trojan stuff.
Oh yeah, Trojans. I'm interested in what Trojans. Not too many people. I mean, I got a mail from Abe. I mean, if you go on my Instagram, he looks really good. He almost looks like a recessive would look or something, but it's a codom. So Trojan het clown is what I picked up from him. And I bred him the 4 girls. So we've only seen, I could be wrong, but I think there's maybe leopard, just a few things with Trojan in there as far as clowns go. I have it to a leopard extreme gene het clown. They're het to het. I also got it to a banana Enchi het clown female, which she's about to ovulate any day now. I have it to a Enchi calico het clown. Yeah, I'll have 4 clutches with the Trojan. So it'd be kind of neat to see what all those look like. It's something that not a lot of people have seen out there yet. So
no, that's what I was just gonna say. There's not many people that I know that are working with Trojans.
She's so bored.
She's bored now.
So she's like, bother.
I need some attention, Mom and Dad. There's not many people that are working with Trojan, and I've heard there's other people that are dabbling in it, but it's something I really should probably start looking into, just because there's not many people doing anything with it.
Yeah.
But it seems like the people that are working with
there.
it see a lot of promise with that project.
Yeah. And I should get some. I'm hoping to hit some white lace clown combos this year. You know, I got some of that going.
Hopefully, cross fingers.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, those girls are still. Let me see. I got a yellow belly lace het clown female, but she's only at 10 millimeter follicles, so they're kind of early still. So I can't really count them in yet. But if not this year, definitely next year. All right.
See, that girl there is right there with my OD Exantic girl. She's just, I think she's at 10 or 12 mil follicles. I forget. I literally just ultrasounded yesterday. She's like 10 or 12 mils.
I'm gonna pull away just for a minute. I'm gonna take her out to see if she has to go potty. Maybe that's why
she's fine. Yeah, she's fine.
You don't think she has to go?
She's fine.
Well, forget that.
You've been told, Jeremy. You've been told.
She's sitting by my feet right now.
Oh, all right.
But no, that OD Exantic girl, she's like 10, 12 mils. So I'm thinking, like I said, you know, I got my last clutch today. Now, I guess it's
Orange Dream Exantic? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Orange Dream Exantic.
Okay, that'd be nice.
Paired to my Bumblebee Doublehead Exantic Clown for right now. If my Batman gets his crap together and finally decides he wants to start producing sperm and all that good stuff, I'm throwing him in last minute because I really want to get stuff for Exantic Batman's cooking.
Yeah.
But worst case scenario, at least this way, I should be able to hit some nice Exantic stuff, hopefully.
Yeah. I do have Exantic. I joke about the TSK because I hear everybody else bust your balls on that. I have no issues with TSK. We have VPI, and the only reason I have VPI is because
that's what we got.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he had to move out of state, and he had a really nice collection. He's around the corner from me, and I ended up picking that. I had a couple VPI, so I have a pastel leopard VPI female. I could have made visual VPIs because I got a Firefly. Yellow belly Firefly VPI male, but I didn't want to make just more Exantics. So I have a Confusion, yellow belly Confusion. Ooh. So yellow belly Confusion and leopard work really well together. So I wanted to, it's like, hey, let's try to make Exantics in that version, So I threw him in. Well, no,
that's why he's going for the DG version.
You know what I do? I actually bleach them when they hit 800 grams. Gosh. I soak them in bleach so they don't get brown.
Don't even say
he gets white out.
Just on me first, my hair used to be brown, and I just bleached it. So I was safe for this. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so that's another one that I'm kind of looking forward to. She actually already ovulated, but there is a time that you've heard people say that Confusion sometimes are picky eaters. No, he was, and so I pulled him out, and I ended up putting a Desert Ghost in there. So worst case, if I get a Who's Your Daddy, it'll be a double het Exantic DG stuff. And I have a female Desert Ghost. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And I have another female Desert Ghost over in this rack. And I put that male yellow belly Firefly. So I'll at least get one clutch of double hets. And if the Confusion doesn't take the leopard VPI, then I'll get two clutches of double het VPI Desert Ghost with combos and stuff. So
okay, nice. Now it's fun, like with the double het VPI and DG stuff. Like I've got I've produced some double het TSK and DG stuff this year. Mm-hmm. The pastels in that clutch freaking look phenomenal. Like when they were in the egg, a couple of us questioned. It's like, what did I have a hidden het DG that we didn't know about in the pastel TSK that I bred? Like they were phenomenal looking, and to this day, even now. Well, no. Like they were just pastel, like they weren't visual TSK or anything, but they're het TSK and DG. Actually, I can grab one real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Hey,
Come say hi to everybody, Hadley. Come say hi to everybody.
Oh.
Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
What's your daughter's name?
What do you want to tell me?
Jeremy, what's your daughter's name?
This is Hadley.
Hadley, can you give me a favor because it's Father's Day? Grab your dad's ear and pull it really hard. She's like, I ain't doing that.
You're just being silly.
She wants to tell you.
What do you want to tell me real quick? What do you want to tell me?
She's shy now.
You're being shy.
Whisper it to Daddy.
Whisper it to me.
Tell Daddy because we're going to bed soon.
You have to go to Betty. Dad has to get back to work. Okay. All right, I'll see you later on tonight. Okay.
Hey, Will, the trick is you got to sell them before they hit 300 grams.
Show Daddy quick.
What? Oh, thank you, baby. You're so cute. Thank you, Hadley.
Wow.
All right, thanks. I love you. Now back to what I was originally trying to do here. That was a nice surprise to have Hadley now. She's my little princess.
Of course.
But like this gal here, and that's just pastel double het. But I mean, she's just
it's nice. It's nice darks.
Right.
I don't know if it's just a double het influence.
It could be. You'd be surprised with some of these influence of the double head. Or
We
triple
notice
het,
our het puzzle stuff influences a lot.
yeah. Like even a normal het hypo. Like I have a double het hypo puzzle that, very bright and very clean looking, so.
Because I've got another pastel het DG in there, and it just it doesn't compare. It's night and freaking day between the two, but all the three double het, I kept the 1.3 is one male pastel, two female pastels, and then a normal. And the normal was really dark, so I kind of thought maybe it had something to do with that black phase TSK. So I held the normal back, but then I left everything else go out of that clutch. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah. Post them on Instagram. I'm curious.
I will definitely keep everybody updated on it. Actually, I need to do an update video on just kind of everything that's going on here.
We haven't done a video in a while.
I was just going to say, unless something YouTube unsubscribed me somehow. I haven't seen anything pop out from you guys lately.
It's been so
I've been doing a lot of reels, the 15-second reels. Yeah, I actually did a video of egg cutting, and when I do my egg cutting videos, I like to show after they shed and add that to the second part of the video.
Yeah.
So that they're actually still in the incubator. I actually did pretty good. It was only 4 eggs, and I'll tell you guys what it is. It's So I picked up the male from Ozzy. It was one of his, how he cycles through his breeders and stuff. So it was a red stripe, orange dream, double het, genetic stripe clown. And I bred it to a female that I made myself, which is a yellow belly firefly, double het, genetic stripe clown. 4 eggs. I didn't get a double visual, but I got 3 genetic stripes out of those 4 eggs, which is not bad. And all 4 are females. I was hoping to get a male, and I want to get all the 3 genetic stripes. I'm definitely going to get them tested for desert ghost. That's a good advantage of having the testing now. Because it could turn. I mean, I don't even know what they are. I've only hatched.
Clown too, or am I wrong?
No, they're het clown. They're 66% het clown. Yeah.
You were getting tested for clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that? I didn't say that.
DG.
Oh yeah, I mean getting the clown test. Yeah, because of their genetic stripe visuals, het clowns, then that's in their females. That's back. But I mean red stripe, orange dream, yellow belly, fire, pastels all in the mix, and I don't even know what the hell they are. They're very light and bright. I can tell you that.
They probably glow.
Yeah, I would say
once they shed, you'll be able to.
I think there's one that's pastel. Yeah, I think there's one that's pastel. The other 2, I think 2 of them are red stripe in there. I don't even know, man. I can sit here and guess all day, but you'll see the video or whatever. You wear size hypo. Hey, I'm not gonna. I just actually got into hypo stuff. I didn't produce.
It's gonna be a little bit.
Yeah, I will have some double heads because I have a girl, a huge. She's a super inchy hypo, and I put a banana puzzle to her, so I'll have some double heads, and I'm probably only going to keep maybe 1.1 out of that. And that girl, she's huge. She's like 500 grams. So I'm gonna imagine I'll get a nice clutch from that. Everything's gonna be double head. Everything's gonna be inchy, and there's gonna be a couple inchy bananas in there. But anybody wants some double heads, that's coming.
Dude, speaking of super inchy, do you want to see the Partho girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the last one left, man. You might. I think you got the lucky one.
I was gonna say I need to bump her up, but she just does so well in this at the moment. And she's just at that cusp of where it's like it's time to bump her. But dude, I absolutely I just love this girl.
Man, she's huge. She changed in color though. She got a little muddied up a little bit, but I guess that's the inchy. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just she's still got some brilliant yellows, and
if she got this far, I think she'll be all right. How much does she weigh? Ballpark. You don't have to break out the scale or anything. But
the scale's right here.
She's nice.
I'm gonna say she's probably. Oh, hold on, let me turn it off of pounds.
Puzzles real quick. Spider puzzles.
Let me get them tough quick too. She is. She's about 910.
Good.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Man, she'll be breeding maybe next year for you then, huh?
Next season.
Yeah, I hope she does well because, like I said, she's
everybody's saying. There's a lot of people that think that she's got cryptic, just because of that head stamp. Because you had said that you found new developments or something about the.
I sold the female
or something.
Yeah, I sold a female. It's hard to say because she is a super inchy, and because she came from a Partho, sometimes that wonks out the pattern some. But that female that I had though, she was just an inchy. She was like one of the best example inchies though, and sometimes head for cryptic or head for anything, definitely influences. So if you have any cryptic males, or even a clown male to put to her,
I was gonna say I've got clown stuff that I can kind of throw her.
I would throw a visual clown male to her if you can, and then find out that way. All right, so where'd it go? It went up a little bit. Somebody was asking about Will was asking about the spider puzzle. So I think it's a yellow belly spider puzzle, and I could show the eye stripe. This girl's in shed.
Here, let me put you up on the big screen.
All right. Hang on. Jeez. He's in
Adam, shed. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Hitting the bed.
Okay, so the eye stripe on that one there. How it's just a little tiny dot. It's not really a stripe. And it's like that on both sides. And then here's the one that's actually the very first genetic stripe puzzle. But it's basically kind of not. Oh, geez.
Not cooperating.
Don't you love it when they don't cooperate?
I'm trying to look at the way the camera is and grab the head. Make sure she doesn't pee on the computer.
Oh yeah, no.
All right, I don't know. Can you guys?
It's hard to see. There you go.
All right, you see that?
It's a little line.
Yeah.
So.
Here.
But anyway, I hope that answers the question, Will.
Because I think Adam's got the other girl, the other super inchy, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I think it passed.
Oh.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, I'll let him tell you the story. I don't know if it was.
I'll have to find out all that stuff from when he gets here.
Yeah, he'll tell you the story on that. I'll let him share that information. What happened? So.
Wow. So that's that. And what didn't you have? What happened? There was a normal out of that too, wasn't there? So it was the normal and then two super inchies that.
Yeah. I think there was a normal.
I don't think there was a normal.
No.
I don't know.
I could swear you sent me a picture of a really goofy normal.
Oh, there was. Yeah, there was one. Yeah, that was strange. That one. Yeah, that one ended up passing too. Like I said, I think you have the very last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you must have got the strong. They say, after that, I've been hearing a lot more people coming up to me because they heard about the Partha and they're giving me information, and they say a lot of times they'll pass out, but they'll end up passing. But then sometimes you'll get a couple out of the clutch that'll be strong genes and they'll breed and do good. That's what I'm saying. Like yours is, you said 800 grams or something like that.
9.
So
like 9,
yeah.
10.
So I mean, if it made it this far, it should be good the rest of the way. And I think Will Morose told me he's actually had Partho girls that he had in the past that bred for him, gave him good, healthy, regular snakes out of it. So
I know. I'm excited to see her on eggs.
What's that?
Listen, I'm excited to see her on eggs, man. Like that.
I'd like to see that too, just for the information and stuff, So. And one of the babies for me, to be honest with you.
Hey, dude, I will hook you up if we can get her on eggs.
Yeah,
I will hook you up, brother.
If she gets eggs and she gets good babies out of there, maybe I'll trade you like a DG clown or something for it. I don't know. We'll see. For one of the babies.
We'll figure something out. I got to figure out what to even pair to her, though. That's the other thing.
I would put a clown.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I'll throw the Batman to her. Make some neat stuff.
Yeah.
Seekers, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, like, have you guys thought about your 2024 pairings yet?
I thought about my 2026 pairings.
Okay. I didn't know.
I'm building. I'm making stuff now for 3 years from now. Let's just say that. So I'm always thinking, and depending on how the market's doing, what I'm watching other people, like if there's something that a lot of people are making a lot of, then I'll change my future plans from 2 years from now, just because of I'm seeing what a lot of people are doing. I was going to really go heavy into the DG clown stuff, which I will. I mean, when you start adding another color, I mean, that's something that'll never die, I guess. When you have double visuals and triple visuals and stuff like that, there'll always be a market for that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So.
John, thank you very much, dude, for supporting the channel, man. I greatly appreciate it, bro. I guess John just gave Seekers a gift of a membership to the YouTube channel. Everybody that is a member, whether it be because you did it yourself or because John went through and gave a whole bunch of people a gift of a membership for, I don't know how long it lasts, a month maybe, or I don't know. But not this week, but next week, I'm off all week. So that week, I will be doing a members live during the week. I actually have like basically the whole run of the house by myself. Karen, the kids are going on vacation to the beach. So like I get to live the bachelor life for a week. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm not going to complain about it. So everybody, we will be doing a members only live that sometime that week. So make sure to keep tabs on the channel because I will post it. It'll show up in the normal feed, I think, but I'll also post the thing up in the community section as well. Paul, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in.
I seen Will said something. I don't know if he's talking about zebra. He said Exantic zebra. I don't know if he means zebra B or zebra, the gene zebra. That's another one I'm working on too. I actually got I'm doing a long long ways of doing. Yeah. So I got a male double head hypo zebra. None of my hypo girls, they're already set up with other males, before I got that male. But I did put it to a desert ghost, and I think did she already ovulate?
I think so.
Pastel lesser desert ghost to the zebra. No, she's at 40 plus. She didn't ovulate, but any day now.
Okay.
Zebras, the zebra gene, you can see the head influence in those. So I should be able to pick those out. So I'll have some zebra, head desert ghost, pos head hypo. So that's another project that's long term for me to work on. I have another girl. She's just a Pastavi. I almost sold her. Like a lot of my single or double Kodam girls that I've got early on, I'm actually, kind of letting some of them go, but she had follicles, so I threw the zebra in with that. So we'll see what happens with that one too. But anyway, sorry about that. I know you had other.
No, you're good. Zebra's one thing I've thought, like, I'm always trying to think of what's going to look good throwing Exantic into it. And Zebra, of course, it sounds like you've got to throw Exantic into it just because of the.
Well, it kind of depends. If you throw like a TSK as Zebra, then it'll look like a dog instead of a
I
zebra.
thought you were going to say a donkey.
Or a donkey. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
But
well,
no, like
doing that TSK boy, and I'm just doing it as jokes too. So.
I know, dude. I know, man. It's one of those things that, like, you just kind of get used to it. Like, especially with my group chat, dude, that were PA group guys. I mean, God, they hound me night and day the second I mention anything Exantic. They just harp on me about it.
You keep getting kicked in the balls, you learn to put on a cup. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Or if you get stabbed in the head with a butter knife, you learn not to smack someone's butt.
Or if you smack the butt, just wear a helmet. You know what I mean? So.
Exactly. Everybody, if you guys want to know what that is all about, if you just tuned in recently, go back to the beginning after this live's over, and everything will be explained. Scott, Jeremy always wanted to make everything brown. Color is overrated, Scott, and I will stick to that. Color is overrated. So I told Nathan, like Nathan is in charge of the Bang project now, basically. Bang is beautiful. Like, it's got some really nice yellowy gold tones to it and everything. I told him and I spent, I don't know how long we were on the phone the one night, and I told him how I'd love to get into it. But I told him, I'm sucking the color right out of that sucker, like, immediately, as fast as I can, making that thing a black and white snake. And he goes, no, I kind of figured you'd ruin it like that. But in all honesty, I think that's where the Bang is going to shine, is like Exantic stuff. I think that's going to be better than OD. I've got great plans for the future of it. I just got to work up the funds to get it.
Yeah. Has anybody ever done a Cypress Exantic yet? I wonder. I'm sure somebody has.
I don't know, but actually, one of my pairings, I start off since, like I said, the Batman isn't ready. Because my Batman was going to go to my Pastel Exantic, which gave me a huge first clutch this year. Mm-hmm. I was going to pair him to her, but since he's not ready yet, I threw my Mardi Gras to him. Because I don't know if you guys saw it, but earlier, I think it was this year early, it might have been late last year, I can't remember. Someone produced an Exantic Highway. I think it's an Exantic Highway or Pastel Highway, something like, anyway, or Highway, Freeway. I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, the thing looked out of this world amazing. Mm-hmm. So it got my head thinking, all right, well, if that Batman isn't ready yet, we'll start off with the Mardi Gras. If I got to switch gears partway through and he gets ready, we'll do that. But then today I also saw a GHI Mojave Exantic. And that thing was drop dead gorgeous. It was all black with just this white line going down its back. It was so freaking beautiful. So now that's got my head thinking on that one now too. It's like, well, maybe we can start doing this. It's stuff like you wouldn't really think about doing.
Yeah, I got a GHI Phantom head puzzle, man. It's really, really clean and dark. It's got a bright dorsal line down it.
Let's see. Seeker here says, trying to find a very black, medium or long snake similar to incredibly deadly viper from a series of unfortunate events. So I was recommended a Mexican black king snake, short tail, or IMG boa.
IMG boas from Da Vinci are amazing.
Well, yeah, you have to have
it's black almost.
Well, you have to have the God, what's that gene? Black eye anery or some kind.
Well,
of
that was it was only het for that.
The one that we had.
Mm-hmm. And we had just a plain IMG one, and it was really black. Nice iridescence on it.
IMG boas is the one thing that made me actually really want a boa.
Yeah, they're nice.
But I've never seen
next year with that. If not next year, then the following year. So yeah, I got some IMG. I got Bloods. I got a few things in that.
Yeah, our het pet.
You need to check out some of the boas on my morph market, Jeremy. There might be something there for you.
Yeah.
Mike had me. I actually just relisted them here. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I relisted them.
There's one more that I think I want to get. It's a pair. I was looking at the paradigm, but I think when you get a paradise, het blood, at least a het blood or a visual blood. I'm very particular because I only have 5. I'm looking to maybe get one more.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not that's going to be a very like a small side project. I'm not going to get super crazy with the boas, because then I don't want to, lose my expertise or whatever. I don't want to, lose focus on the ball pythons, so.
No, that's one thing. Like, people ask me questions about like some of the boa stuff, and I feel like I'm the idiot on that one. I always have to refer back to Mike. It's like, dude, I have no idea what these people are talking about. Is this what is this? And so he helps fill me in. But yeah, it's hard. Like I said before, it's nice that you guys have like your main focus is the balls. Genie's got the Crested, and also helps you out with the balls though too. But it's like you don't have to focus and know everything. That is super important and helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, she tries telling me stuff. I mean, I know some stuff about the Crested, but I focus on the balls.
Just not as much. But granted, he has way more ball pythons than I do crested geckos, so he's got a lot more.
For now, at some point, I'm sure those crested geckos are going to start adding up.
I don't know if I could do that many crested geckos.
How hard are they? Because it sounds like they're fair. Like, I don't want to say they're easy, but it sounds like their care is half fairly easy.
They're easy, but you got to feed them like 2-3 times a week. So that's where you're coming into play with doing a little bit more work. The babies, I'm constantly like cleaning out their tubs and stuff, changing the waters, because they only have little water bottle caps for their water. So there is a little bit of upkeep when it comes to having the cresteds.
That I actually never thought about that aspect of it.
Yeah.
So that does I figured you just put in that Pangea once, maybe twice a week, and
it's twice a week, and then I feed crickets.
Okay, so you feed them crickets too.
Yeah, it's kind of important in their diet. Especially when crickets, I sprinkle the calcium with D3 because they don't use lights. So they don't, have any of that. So that's important for them to have that on top. And they grow better when they eat bugs.
Oh, that makes sense. Seeger says, did you guys hear more about reptiles giving virgin birth? We were actually just talking about that. I showed off that Partho super entry that I got from Jeremy here.
I think there's a thing that Warren Booth put out that there's I think crocodilians or something. They just found out that's doing that too.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I saw that come across on Facebook. I think I
heard it through Holdback Rack. They were talking
okay.
And I don't know where they pulled the ad up, but they were talking about it for a little bit. So.
Oh, okay. See, that's one thing I would really like to get Warren Booth on here, just because the man's a wealth of knowledge. Billy had him on when I was in Billy's Patreon. Mm-hmm. And the crap I learned from that man just in one, I don't even know, he might have been on there an hour and a half, something like that. But what I learned in that hour and a half was game changing. That's what made me switch to the whole feeding every 2 weeks and looking at things from a completely different spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feed every 2 weeks. Well, my hatchlings I don't till they're about 300 grams or something. Then I switch them every 2 weeks. The males that I breed, I feed them every week, the ones that are in breeding, but I give them smaller meals. And then the females that are building follicles, I feed them every week. But they're not. Okay. They're also getting smaller meals too. But once they lay eggs and all that stuff, I go back to once every 2 weeks, you know. So
my girls, like right now, the OD Exanthic girl, she's pounded, like she's on a mission to plump up. She'll eat a medium rat one day, and then the next day she wants a small rat. So like since I feed like 2 different nights throughout the week, if there's a leftover one, I let her have first shot at it since she's obviously, prepping and getting ready. So it's like, all right, sweetie, it's like pack on that weight and give me a nice.
They're building them follicles, feed them up. So
that's what I do. Seeker, yes, Da Vinci should be on Morph Market, I would assume.
Yeah, I think Da Vinci Boa is.
Yeah. And I actually carry the supplement, so if anybody ever needs that, I'm not shipping that. If you want it shipped or whatever, you can go on his site. But if you ever see me at shows, like I'll have some at Tinley, Daytona, any of the local, reptile shows in Florida that I'm at, I'll have some of the Da Vinci Boa supplement if anybody ever needs that.
Now, how effective has that been for you? Because that's one thing I've thought about getting, but I just haven't dropped the hammer on it. Because actually, right when I was about ready to buy it, the girls that were not wanting to eat decided to switch gears and start eating again.
Well, so I would say that Billy would be the better one to ask that question because he has a much larger sample size. I believe he said that like 70% of the animals that he used that on, went back on. He said some were ASFs only or mousers, and then he gave them some of that a couple times, and then now they're eating in the regions again or whatever. He would be the better question because I'm the first one. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but I'm like the very first one that ever tried it on a ball python. As a matter of fact, I was the first person that ever bought it because he used to make it for himself for the boas, and then whenever the boas like would be like breeding or the girls would have their litters and stuff, he would give them that supplement just because it gave them an extra boost of calcium and vitamins and whatever secret stuff he puts in there. I don't know. It would get them, kickstart back on eating good and all that stuff. And I seen it at Daytona like 4 or 5 years ago. And it was this one bottle sitting on the table. I thought it was beard oil, to be honest. I'm like, what is that stuff right there? And his response was like, good question. And he explained what he used it on. And I'm like, man, I have this, I paid $3,750 for the banana puzzle when I first got it from Sean Bradley a few years back. So it's a banana puzzle. I paid a lot of money for it when puzzles were really crazy priced. And I bred it and it stopped eating. And it was like almost a year. And I stopped breeding it like months before it got really bad, but it was like getting really skinny. And I thought it was going to die, So I saw that and I was like, well, how much is that? After he explained it, he goes, $80. It's like, man, that little bottle, $80. And and I was like, here's the thing. I paid $3,700 for the snake. I feel like the snake's going to end up dying because it's losing weight. You're seeing the spine. It's not doing good at all. And I tried every trick. I tried, different size tub, different substrate, taking for rides, doing everything they say that you can possibly think of to get this thing to start eating, different types of prey, everything. Nothing seemed to work. It could be just a fluke. And I told Billy that when he messaged me about it. But all I know is I came home, I gave him that supplement. 2 days later, I throw a rat in there and he takes it right away. He took it so fast when I went to go check on it, it was at the gate ready for another one. So I threw another one in there. Ever since then, every single week he kept taking food, and I still have him today. He's made me thousands and thousands of dollars on that snake. And I feel like I probably would have lost him if I didn't try that. I don't know for sure, I really don't have any evidence, but it worked for me on that particular snake. And I posted that on Instagram and Billy saw it. So he messaged me. He's like, man, what's the deal with this stuff? And I explained to him, I said, look, I really don't know if this snake just started eating again, but I've tried everything for months, for a year. And I gave him the supplement and it started eating. And then Billy has been buying it ever since. He buys it every month. He buys cases of her.
Yeah, he's getting cases. He's like Canada's distributor now, basically.
Yeah. So, and he has he has a much larger sample size to test it on and try it on. And all them guys over there, they live by it, And some people say, oh, it doesn't work because, like Billy said, I think he said it was like 70%. I can't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
I think you're right. I think I did.
So
do remember the
it's
70.
not going to work on every single time or every single animal or whatever. Who knows what's going on with that? But he lives by it and he talks about it all the time.
He
you know,
does
so
a lot.
Yeah, Billy's like basically like that's part of his Bible right there is Da Vinci.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
even if the
sorry.
snake is not eating, it's, you know, and if it doesn't go back on feed, if you're giving it that stuff, it's got the vitamins and the calcium and all that. So it's still giving it
It's
stuff.
getting nutrients.
And there's something in there. I can't remember exactly what it is. And Richard, he could tell you there's something in there that gets them, oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? It gives them an appetite, supposedly. One of the things that's in the supplement, and it causes them to get hungry, and that's what gets them kick-started and stuff. So
Okay. Will wants to know, anyone's females ever eat after pre-lay before laying, or is that a sign of reabsorption? I've never, in all honesty, Will, all my girls so far, like, I mean, I'm still, green at all this. I mean, this is only my third season, but after my girls hit about,
No, it's her.
I'm going to say between 12 to 20 mil follicles, they're all food from that point on. So for me, my answer would be I would say that that they're not going to give you anything, but I could be wrong. What's your thoughts, Jeremy?
I never had any issues like that, but I do talk to a lot of people, and there's a couple people that said that they've had girls eat all the way up to when they lay.
Oh, wow.
So actually, one of the person that started, showed me how the pop snakes and all. His name is Mike Smith. On his business is Morph Mart. It's not. He had the name Morph Mart before Morph Market came out, but he was one that told me. He goes, I had snakes that would eat all the way up to when they lay the eggs. So
oh wow.
So I've never had that experience myself, but I've heard of it being done. So yes, it can happen. And one thing, and maybe somebody can answer the question here. I've had one girl and I think maybe two girls that are reabsorbing now. And one thing I noticed, if you have an ultrasound, is like when I'm looking at the eggs, the eggs are still like the same size, or they're getting a little bit smaller, but I noticed the coloring of the egg on the ultrasound is like a lot more faint. Is that something that maybe if anybody else has had anything that reabsorbed or is reabsorbing that uses an ultrasound, are they noticing that too?
We've actually watched them reabsorb, get up to 27 millimeters, and then we check next time and it's 23.
Yeah.
And then 17, and then
another thing I noticed, it's like there'd be a lot of urine or whatever. Like, I don't know if that's because of they're extracting whatever's in the eggs, when they're reabsorbing. So that's just something I witnessed myself. I really haven't asked too many people about that, but just because you brought up the eating, up to after the pre-lay shed, I just thought about those questions. But if anybody's ever had that experience, let me know.
See, I've never, till I had girls reabsorb, I didn't have the ultrasound then. So I'm not a person that could even remotely add any info on that one. Nathan, how about you, dude? I know Danny had that. I know Danny had that one girl reabsorbing, but as his one girl was reabsorbing, she was growing the other's line of follicles. So like the one side was shrinking, but the other side was growing, and I think he ended up getting a clutch from her still. It was like the weirdest freaking thing ever.
Ducks, yeah.
Maybe that's why you see the other ones and they're the same size. They're on the other side.
No, because that girl there, the head clown, the lesser head clown girl, it's like I check both sides and stuff, and I do notice that the follicles are getting smaller and they're looking lighter, like almost like whatever was inside the eggs. It's
not. I think I know what you're trying to say. It's not.
Yeah. And that's the stuff that I did. I only started using the ultrasound like the last 2 years. Before I used to palpate and all that. So that's something I never would even looked for or thought of. But now that I have the ultrasound and I'm seeing that stuff on screen and being able to keep track of stuff better, I'm starting to see things like that. So,
well, this year and maybe you do this now. This year I had with what was it, clutch 5? That was my disaster clutch. Yeah, clutch 5. That was basically all slugs.
oh
And
yeah, I had one of those recently.
Or you guys had the same thing happen? Now
I had a girl. Go ahead. I'll let you say your
after
story.
That clutch, I went through and I palpated the next 2 girls that were due to lay. Just because it freaked me out, especially since that male that sired the crap clutch was the sire of the clutch that was next to be laid. So I was like, it's like, please don't tell me like this male just had a crap year and just everything's bad. So I palpated her and it's like, okay, those are big feeling eggs. It's like, all right, we're good with that one. Went on to the next girl, palpated her. It's like, okay, those eggs feel the right size. So now what I'm going to start doing is, along with the ultrasounding, closer to the lay date, I'm going to palpate them and see if I can't tell if I'm going to be getting slugs or anything like that. Just because the way I'm thinking, you should be able to tell by palpating just one by the size of the egg.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I know, and I'll tell you the story I had, and I'll tell you what some people have said to me. All right, so I've made this girl. I produced her myself. She's a pied 100% het clown. So last year I bred her, and I put a clown 100% het pied to her, and I was hoping to make some double visuals. 9 slugs I got out of her. Ooh. So I was like, all right, the cost of the double visuals have gone down a little bit. And so I figured I'll do a loop-de-doo. Instead of making double visuals, this year I'll take again, she's a pied 100% het clown. So I put a hurricane red stripe pastel clown to her to hopefully make some clowns that are going to be 100% het pieds and go that route. And then I have, keep a male and put it back to her, the following year, next year, whatever. Total slug out again this year. So I posted her 9 eggs too, 9 slugs. Somebody told me that, and anybody in the comments know anything about this, but what I've been told was that if you get non-viable eggs, it's usually because of the male. But if you get slugs, it's usually because of the female.
Oh, okay.
So there, long story short is I'm going to try again next year. If she doesn't do anything next year, I'm going to try to breed her one more time. And if I get like full slugs again, and both times are 2 different males. I mean, I just pulled a clutch with the male that I bred to her this year and got 9 good eggs that's sitting in the incubator. I just pulled them out today. So it's not the male. I'll try again next year. If I get another full clutch of slugs, then I'll just have it'll suck but I'll have to sell her off as a pet only. I can't sell her as a proven breeder, obviously, because she's doing slugs. I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Say, it sucks because what's a proven breeder? 2,500 gram pied 100% het clowns go for, you know what I mean? And I might be lucky to get $100 if it's slugging out. I can't sell her as a breeder,
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, if she's
try one more time and see, but let me know if anybody heard the same thing, as far as a male is going to be non-viable eggs and then a female going to be slugs. And what the difference between a non-viable, it's not going to have the veins and all that, and the slugs are going to be smaller, more yellow and all that. So
that actually makes a lot of, it kind of does make a lot of sense though, with how you're putting it on with that working. And the way I'm looking at it anyway, it makes sense.
That sucks because I really was looking forward to both those clutches. Last year I was looking forward to that one, and then this year, the thing is that she had the follicles, 40 millimeters and all that. She ovulated, she was big, everything. The ovulation was nice size, everything looked perfect, and then that happened. And not only did it suck because I knew I lost the slugs or lost the clutch, but it also sucks because I lost that as a breeder. You know what I mean? Or potentially. I'll try again next year and see. But it's possible that I lost her as a breeder.
Nathan said he had 1 slug out last year, and she's going again this year.
Yeah, let me know, man. If you can private message me or whatever to let me know how that works out for you, just out of curiosity. Yeah, it sucks when it happens. But you know what? Here's the thing. If you didn't have stuff like that happen, it would be boring.
That's true.
You gotta have the bad with the good. You just don't want the bad to be, why couldn't it be
an expensive?
Yeah, why couldn't it be like a super mystic clutch or something like that? You know what I mean? But that's the thing. It makes when you get the good stuff, it makes it that much more exciting. Exactly. If everything was perfect and good, I wouldn't be doing this as a hobby. That's why I used to have Texas Hold'em tournaments because I love playing cards. I gamble and stuff. I don't gamble now. I mean, my addiction is here now.
Gambling.
I was gonna say your new addiction is
so that's the thing. I mean, you got to have the bad with the good.
No, I agree with you because like with that clutch 5, that was funny. We pulled clutch 4, and I checked on the girl that laid clutch 5. And I told Dom, I was like, while we're filming this, that girl's gonna start dropping eggs. And literally by the time we were done filming, she plopped out, I think, 1 or 2 eggs by that point. But I was just super thankful that the slugs weren't from my first time pastel female, because she was my pastel double head Exantic clown, which is my first shot at Exantic clowns. Wow. So I was really afraid that was going to be, if anything, first time male, breeding as well. I thought it's like, you watch, that's going to be the clutch that goes south. And thank goodness everything turned out fine and everything's still going good. So,
yeah. Well, I tell you what, I have a girl that's due to lay actually on the 27th, and it's a Mojave Calico Het Monsoon female that I bred a double het lavender albino monsoon to. So if we get 2 visuals out of that, that'll make up for that clutch that slugged out. I could say that.
Oh, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, it would. Yeah. It most certainly would. Now, which is your most anticipated clutch for this year, though?
Oh, geez, I got a lot of them, man. I got so many.
Face was like, oh God, you're gonna make it.
One. I love all my kids. You know what I mean? So,
I love all my kids.
That one I just said. That's actually a split clutch between me and a friend of mine.
Okay.
The monsoon, like the male's mine, and the female's his. Oh, geez.
Maybe the
puzzle genetic stripe. I'm really looking forward to that because I'm wanting to see what that looks like, and that's going to be a far stretch because it's double het to double het. One of the clutches, the one girl didn't even lay her eggs yet. She's ready to. She's at 29 millimeter follicles. That was on the 20. Oh, she's probably higher than that. I got to ultrasound her again. That was 527. That was last month.
Oh yeah,
so she's probably like ready to ovulate. I got to check her again. But the other girl, I got 2 eggs out of the clutch. So it was a yellow belly double het genetic stripe puzzle to a banana. I think I did a straight banana because the other ones I had, I wasn't 100% sure if yellow belly was in there. So I just did a straight banana double het. Okay. So yeah, I'm far stretch for those. I mean, I have some other really nice stuff. I got a pastel leopard spot nose that I put a pastel red stripe hurricane to. The hurricane is a visual clown, and the pastel spot nose leopard is a het clown. So I can get some Batman, red stripe hurricanes in that. So that was kind of interesting. She's at 23 millimeter follicles.
Yes, Will.
Absolutely. Yes, I am. Yeah, that's why I said my addiction for gambling is here instead of I'll still play cards though, if I get the opportunity. But a lot of stuff I'm still making this year, man. I feel like I'm always building for the future. Like you asked me earlier, what my plans for 2024 were. I got plans for 2026 and 27 right now. You know what I mean? Because I'm making a bunch of double hets. Next year I'll be making triple hets and just keep building. And of course, there's going to be a lot of nice stuff. But I'd say I'm really looking forward to the monsoon right now. As far as one of the Trojans, I'm looking forward to see what those look like. So they're pretty up there in the most anticipated clutches of the year. I could keep going, man. Like I got the Cypress honey clown stuff. I mean, did you see what a Cypress honey looks like? A Cypress honey clown versus a Cypress clown. Oh, I'm trying to make the DG versions of those.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think I do remember you showing off some Cypress honey stuff. I don't know if it's on a live or on a video.
It's probably both, yeah. And then Adam, I don't know if he's still here. I know he was driving. I don't know. Well,
no, yeah, he cut out, I think.
Yeah, so he did a video where he was at one of the Repticons and showed the Cypress honey clown and the Cypress clown, the comparison. So I'm hoping to make some, desert ghost versions of those. I mean, I got one snake. I don't know if it's in. I don't want to get it shed tested because it's a Cypress. It could be OD. It could be Enchi. I want to get it tested. I know Enchi's a weird thing to get tested, and a lot of people are like, "Why would they do the genetic testing on Enchi?" Because you can easily see them. But this snake that I have, it was in the pairing, and I just don't know if it's Enchi or OD or whatever.
The thing is, once you start layering all these genetics, like it can alter stuff, and stuff can hide.
Yeah.
Yes, theoretically, you should be able to pick out certain genes, but stuff overlaps and stuff hides other things, and I mean, it's
hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. Here's the one in question right here. She'll be breeding for me next year. So she's a Cypress, and I don't know if it's just honey. If you saw her as a hatchling, these reds, the blushing on the back there, the reds were like really, really red. And I don't know are you watching the RGI videos on YouTube and stuff?
I've been trying to catch them. I'm playing catch up basically.
Okay, and I think it was he was on, or no, maybe it was Justin was on MJ's thing, and he was talking about some desert ghost. They kind of turned gray sometimes as they age,
silver, yeah,
like a silver. And I think that's in this case here. So this is a desert ghost visual, but what's bringing those reds on the dorsal like that? You know what I mean? But
they're not reds. They're like orange.
I mean, this camera is not picking it up, and it's like two different colors when you look at it in person and stuff. But it doesn't have like anything saying Enchi in the eye stripe or nothing. The only other thing it could be honey, Cypress honey desert ghost, or it could be Orange Dream. I don't know. I've Ozzy and several others, and it's like I just got to breed it out and see, or get it tested for the Enchi.
Yeah, that's a good. It doesn't scream OD at me though.
Well, I just don't know what's bringing the, like, here's another one. This one here is a Cypress honey desert ghost, but it's also pastel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this has got pastel in it though. But look, there's none of that. As far as the honey,
speckling or nothing.
Yeah. So the other one, it had, you know how Enchi kind of gets a little speckling on the sides, just like your Super Enchi you showed. It kind of shows that in the desert ghost version, but this one here. This is not Enchi in there. I know that for sure. I know this is a Cypress honey.
And this is
pastel.
super clean. It's like.
That is super.
Yeah.
Super clean.
Now, how they talk about with the DG, I wonder if that's got like also the C, because they said with the C, it'll make it even better.
Which now you bring that up. Why don't we jump into that gear and talk about your guys' thoughts on the whole, as I now call it, the DG dilemma, because apparently the sky is falling, and now everybody thinks that, or how everybody sounds to me right now is that they all think that with this new information, everything is now changed. Like you can't compare DGs anymore and make DGs.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people. I got like one of my really good friends, Steve Casino, Steve's Morphs. I talk to him like almost every single day. He's really good friends with the Bells, Mark Kim Bell and Jeremy Smith from Fireball. And he's talked to them guys, and they've never had it. Everything's basically the kind of like a recessive from what the chatter is going around. It still breeds like a recessive. You'll hear a one-off person say they did a visual to a visual, and out of 8 eggs, one didn't look like it was desert ghost and stuff like that. But I think it was just an overreaction. I think a lot of the overreaction is from a lot of the newer people that maybe just came in 3-4 years ago. A lot of the old people that have been doing Desert Ghosts for 10 years or more, they're like, hey, it always worked like a simple recessive, just because now they know how genetically it works doesn't change anything about the gene. It just tells you how it's built and how it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how it functions.
It's still most of the time, very rare do you get something where you get a double visual, or you get a visual to a visual, and you get something that's not a visual out of that clutch. Yeah. And these are people that have been breeding Desert Ghosts heavy for 8 years and stuff like that I've talked to. And they're like, it always worked like a simple recessive to me. And the same thing with, when you're doing head to head, sometimes you'll get, like everybody I've talked to, sometimes you'll breed something that's head to head and you just won't get anything. And then sometimes you do. Now, if you're breeding the same head to head on the Desert Ghost over and over 3-4 times in a year, and you still don't get anything, that's where it would be an issue, and that's where it would make sense with what they have now as far as the information on the genetic testing and how it works.
All the information, they don't even have all the information yet.
Correct. Yep. So, they're still figuring it out.
So I feel like, we can't really make a plan or change the plan of how it works without knowing everything.
Exactly. I look at it as it's not going to change any of my plans. At first, when I heard all this news, and I spent, I don't know, probably a good half hour or so on the phone with Nathan and had him dumb down, because I was confused as all hell with the way everybody was explaining it. It's like, it made no freaking sense to me at all. But he explained it to where it finally clicked and said, okay, there's really nothing freaking different going on. If anything, I honestly think it's going to help the DG market, because if you do go and you test it and it comes back that it's AA, BB, and then it's got your floater C or whatever, however many other alphabet letters we go up, it's going to make that animal more valuable. As opposed to if it's got what was it? If it's got 2 A's and 1 B or 2 B's and 1 A, however they jumbled all the letters around. Yeah. But if you've got something where it's got everything in it, that animal should be more valuable. And I now will be able to, tell in theory.
I just wonder, like, for example, say you have 10 egg clutch. Are you going to get all 10 of those eggs tested? Because that's going to be $700 right there. Yep. So, like, Justin was on a podcast and we were watching it, and he had said, the way he kind of feels like even now with the testing, people are only testing their breeders.
The stuff they're keeping.
They're not testing necessarily what they are selling.
Yep. So that's exactly right. That's how I view the whole testing thing to begin with. Like, I've got five visual exantics that are all 50% het clown. Now I'm going to test all 5 exantics. The other 4 that I have that are up for sale, I'm not bothering testing those.
Right.
Just because, like, they're not remotely in my plans to hold back. So I just have everything listed 100% het TSK, 50% het clown. You gamble on it just like we've done for how many years now. But the actual visual stuff, I want to know if that het clown is there, because if it's het clown, I need a male that's het clown to improve my odds of hitting the exantic clown next year if I don't hit one this year. And on top of it, then that way I can better do my pairings for my females I'm holding back from that clutch. So, it comes in. But there again, if it wasn't for the fact that if I wasn't going to be holding those animals back, I'd be listing them as 50% het, and it's up to the buyer to roll the dice.
Yeah, because if you think about it, we had like maybe a little more than 200 babies that hatched last year. So let's just say 200. If we tested every single one of those, just say for even one gene times 70, that's $14,000. You're not gonna spend that.
I can tell you now that genetic stripe clutch, we ended up with that. Those I'm getting all 3 of the genetic stripe combos tested for clown.
Yeah,
they're 66%.
So
they're all
we know
females.
what we can keep.
Yeah, that can be either a $500 snake or a $4,000 snake just by the head clown. You know what I mean? So
and that's a justifiable, because I mean, what's a test? Last one I got my NG asphalt / yellow belly test, I think a test was like what, $60?
I did it before it hit Morph Market
it was 50 back then.
Yeah, I did it through Instagram. No, I think it was 6. Was it 50?
I thought it was 50, and then
it went to 65.
Then it went to 65, but I thought it was 70 now. I could be wrong.
No, I thought it was 65 for a single, and then if you get the full one, it's like one. I don't know. You can look them up.
I can't remember.
But yeah, I ended up getting a pastel Desert Ghost male that came really, really nice looking pastel Desert Ghost too. It was Posset pied, and I got it tested for the pied. It ended up being pied, so.
Now, here was another thing with the DG thing that Nathan and I had talked about is, all right, you've got your floater, your hidden gene C or D or whatever letter you want to go up to. Mm-hmm. Now, what happens if, say, one of those hidden genes that makes Desert Ghost amplify to a whole new level is something like pastel, which we all know pastel does. It amplifies it, makes it look better. But what if there's something in certain lines of pastel, so to say, that would, hold that hidden gene D or E or whatever, or say something like spider.
So for an example, how they say honey is kind of connected to cypress. So you're saying, what if there's another gene that's connected to like pastel that you can't see? Yeah, who knows?
That you can't see that sets off the DG or even any other gene down the road.
Yeah.
Like, because everybody hates pastel for I don't know why. And everybody really hates spider, which is sad because I love it. But I would love to see spider make a comeback. But I don't think I'll see
the breeders are staying away from it because, well, obviously that one kid that I don't even think he's doing anything.
From what I saw with Balling with Brian, I think they put him in the, what was it, the breeder graveyard or something?
Yeah, the Milk Carton Chronicles or whatever they call that.
Yeah, I think he went belly up or something.
He's probably getting a lot of hate from a lot of people, I don't imagine. I don't know. Maybe his balls finally dropped or something, and who knows. But that's, I don't know. It's like, it's weird because there's a lot of people that'll jump on the bandwagon, like the whole pastel thing. Pastel looks great in some things, like that Desert Ghost I just showed you. You're like, man, that thing glows. Yeah. Partially because pastel's in there. You know what I mean? I got pastel Desert Ghost that'll blow you away. Yeah. It's like, but one or a few people start saying, oh yeah, I mean, yes, pastel clowns, just a straight pastel clown, they don't look that good. But you throw another gene in there, like God, I got a firefly clown. I mean,
yeah, show some stuff off, dude, if you want. I want to see some more honey stuff because I don't know a whole lot about honey.
I mean, look how nice that looks. That's a big. Yeah, this is a big animal. Yeah, it's a firefly clown, so it's got pastel in it. Look how bright and clean she looks, though, and she's huge. She's probably 300 plus grams. And
300. You mean 3,000?
That's what I said. No, rewind it. I said 3,000.
I'm like 300. No.
We meant what you knew, Jeremy. We meant what you knew.
All right. So I'll show you a honey clown or honey cypress versus cypress.
Pat, I don't even think Jeremy knows what K-pop is.
I know what K-pop is.
Oh, what is K-pop?
It's soda that starts with a K.
Gosh.
I don't drink soda anymore, so I don't
see, Blue Zombie said you said 300.
Oh, he's lying. He's lying. I said 3,000. All right. Oh man, you can't really pick the colors up on this.
It doesn't really show the difference.
Geez, that's
the one that would be in your right hand looks
this
like
one
it's got,
here. This is the honey.
Okay.
Cypress honey, and this is the cypress. Actually, the cypress clown is actually in shed.
So maybe that's making it a little lighter.
No, yeah, it's. I mean, if you go on my Instagram, I have these two side by side, and you can see this one here, the cypress honey, has a lot more redder tones to it.
Okay.
But, yeah, this camera. Can you buy another separate camera than using your laptop camera? I wonder. That's
I did, yeah, yeah. I went to go show you the camera I use, but that I've done a damn thing. You know, I have a Logitech HD 1080p little webcam thing that I use now. It's a hell of a lot better picture than the graph camera that was on my HP laptop.
Yeah, I don't know.
One of these days, I'm actually going to get a nice camera and get a microphone like all these professional podcasters have. That way, I don't look like such a newbie at the whole thing. But I'm a cheap bastard. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, that's
yeah. We don't have a lot of honey.
Yeah.
What about the male?
What male?
The cypress.
The original one I got from Will.
The original.
Yeah, that's just a cypress honey. This is the one I got it from Will Morose a few years back. He's been a good breeder. He's the one that made those clowns. So it's also
double him 2-3 years.
Yeah.
3.
So it's really hard to see the honey though. So it's a cypress honey, and it's double het clown DG.
Okay.
He's been a good breeder. He eats the whole time. But yeah, you can't really see that. I did make a straight honey gene from him last year.
I thought so.
Yeah, so it's just a single gene honey. You'd have to dig way down in my Instagram to see a picture of that.
I think we sold that though.
But yeah, I sold it. And it kind of looks, it's very close to a special, what a special looks like.
Okay.
The gene special. Like if I was to try to compare it to anything. But I noticed when you put it in with clown and stuff like that, it really brings out the reds kind of. I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm still kind of working on that. So
maybe now your thoughts, would that maybe be something to throw into the whole Pompeii thing and see if that wouldn't amplify it even more?
The honey or the cypress?
The honey.
You could try. Well, yeah. The only thing is with honey, it's in the bell complex. So you got to be careful. I mean, the Pompeii would be okay with, but you got to be careful what you breed it to because you end up with white snakes.
Yeah, that's
the only thing with the honey gene. So, like special, like a super special, that's not bell. That's I've never made one, but isn't that like a really light but patterned snake? You could see pattern on a super special.
I think so. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Didn't they? Who was it that wasn't that special that they threw into the Pompeii and it lit it? It just blew the thing out.
I think the guy that vends next to Justin, I could be wrong. I can't remember his name, but I think he did have a special Pompeii.
I think, yeah, because I think Dave Kaufman did a whole episode on the thing and it went like crazy. Yeah. If I remember correctly, because I think it was special into the Pompeii and it looked phenomenal.
That's one of the 5-6 year down the road. I'm trying to make a kind of like a Pompeii puzzle.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I already got the black pastel and some other stuff. I got all the ingredients. I just got to put it all together,
So I've got a few girls. Well, my Batman might have red stripe and my Bruce Wayne female might have red stripe. So I got a female pastel red stripe from Nathan. So I'm hoping to breed the Batman to that to see if I can't hit some super red stripes, improve out to see if the Batman is red stripe, because it's either yellow belly or red stripe. It's one of the two, but it's not just your regular base Batman. There's something else going on with it. And the same with the Bruce Wayne. The Bruce Wayne, out of all the leopard spot nose hat clowns I've seen, I've not seen one that looks like this one. It's just insane looking.
Yeah. Did you see some of the cypress stuff or the red stripe stuff that I got in with the puzzle?
No.
Oh, so they're not puzzles. They're not visual puzzles. They're hets. But I kept 3 of the cypress back. I sold 2. or I keep saying cypress, it's red stripe, but my red stripes, this particular line of red stripes. Let me see.
Show it off, dude. Red stripe's something that's got me excited. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't know why I'm excited about it, but it's something about it is like kind of doing that little demon, the little angel and demon on your shoulder thing. It's like whispering in my ear for some reason. So like, James says, "Damn you, Jeremy! I wanted to do that. I know you for sure will beat me to that goal, though. Pompeii puzzle. That is good luck."
Okay, this is a banana red stripe.
Oh,
Het puzzle. Notice one thing on that? Notice that dorsal stripe is
that huge ass thick dorsal stripe.
Solid all the way through. I'm trying to get used to this camera. But yeah.
Dude, that is beautiful.
And this guy here, he's probably 700 grams.
We've also noticed with our puzzle stuff, bananas don't get a lot of spots.
Oh, so it almost helps
reduce them.
Reduce it.
Yeah, I mean that one had a few, but not a lot. Even our hets, we've noticed that.
That is kind of
interesting. Because you know our male is a banana puzzle, so we've made quite a few of those.
Very interesting. That's because I know, like with my and this is nowhere near the same spectrum, at least. But my GHI Mojave banana has like 0 spotting on it.
Yeah,
that's just a regular red stripe, 100% het puzzle. It's a female. But notice anything on that?
That thick ass solid stripe.
Solid stripe all the way down. You know, I've had people say I've never seen red stripes that just solid striped out like that.
Well, it's such a thick stripe too. Like
yeah. When they had,
like it's just like, a good, very extremely good example of the gene, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Here's another girl. Same thing, just a regular red stripe, het puzzle. It does have one break right there, or two. Actually, it has one solid break right there.
But that's the only one.
But the rest of that, solid and thick.
Solid and thick, yeah.
That's what she said.
I was waiting for it.
Sorry.
Had to have that one comment.
Will says red stripe in puzzle and vanilla are 2 of his favorite genes in puzzle.
And here's,
red stripe.
Here's the one we were talking about earlier. The
GHI.
Oh, actually, it doesn't have a solid stripe. This is a GHI Phantom, and it's also a het puzzle female. But see how nice and dark she is?
Dude, that's very nice.
And then
I'll show you one of my pickups.
I'll show you one of the pickups I got. It's probably one of the most expensive snakes I got this year.
Yes, it is.
She's like, yes.
Now, it's not going to look like much. Well, I don't know. I think it will.
I like it.
It's a girl. I needed some more hypo girls. So I think it's a vanilla. It was sold to me as a hypo DG het clown.
Pos vanilla.
But the pairing had vanilla in there. And I think that's vanilla, but very clean.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's very clean. Very, very clean.
Yeah. So, not a lot of codoms, but like Desert Ghost Hypo, 100% het clown, and it's a girl. So yeah, that's one of the picked up.
Very nice. Genie, did you ever see my GHI Mojave banana?
I'm not sure.
I don't have vanilla in the puzzle project yet, Will. I do have to. That's the only vanilla that I have in.
Now, sadly, she's in shed, but you still get a.
Oh, she's nice.
Like, she's just pinky lavender. Like,
yeah. It's nice. Not a lot of spots.
She does not have one solid black scale on her.
That's awesome.
And she's got.
I like the bananas without the spots.
Hey, when you get a second, I want to answer.
That's it.
When you get a second, put me on the big screen again. I want to show Will something real quick.
All right. There we go.
He just said.
He said bang, not bongo.
Oh, did he say bang? I thought he said bongo.
I think he said bang.
Oh, he did. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
bang.
I'll still show you anyway. So that's a bongo ultra mill to a banana puzzle. They're locked right now.
Ooh.
So I thought he said
Bongo.
Bongo.
Yeah,
that's
you opened up the tub, that's what I realized.
that's what
Will
happens.
says he loves some bongo though.
That's what happens when you got 51-year-old eyes. That's a see things different.
You see what you want to see after a certain age.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have his glasses on. She is slobbering all over my foot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's using it as a headrest.
Darn dogs.
Yep.
So, all right, I got 2 more topics to cover because we're just about at 11 o'clock, which means I've had you folks for 3 hours and you guys are probably tired. Jeremy's probably past his bedtime. I mean, at 51.
Actually, it's me that's past the bedtime.
I was up till like 2 o'clock in the morning last night.
I'm the bad one. I need
Yeah.
my beauty sleep.
I got tomorrow off, so it's all good for me. Anyway.
Oh, you lucky dog. I got to work this weekend and then I'm off. But anyway, the next 2 questions I have for you is, and then I'll let you get to bed, is what gene do you guys think is the next big thing? And we can do ball pythons and the crested geckos as well.
Okay.
You gonna go first?
Well, as far as crested geckos go, I'm not sure because I feel like things are changing a little bit. And I think people are wanting more extremes. They want more color
Okay.
into them. There was a big hype about cappuccinos, but I think that's kind of died down. And like I said earlier about the xanthics, I feel like there's a lot of them out there now. So I feel like now they're trying to go for high paper white patterns, tricolors, and that sort of thing.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion.
All right. So, are you talking about recessive or codom, or both?
It doesn't matter, dude. If you can do one of each, if you
All right,
want.
I'm going to do codom because the answer for recessive is obviously what pretty much everybody already knows anyway. It's going to be like multi-recessive stuff. That's just the way the market's running right now. So if you're breeding stuff and you can make some double hets at minimum, I would definitely do that. And if you can make double visuals, triples, that's my thoughts on that. And then, like I said, I do talk to a lot of like bigger breeders and stuff all the time. And what I've been hearing a lot of people saying this year, and that's why I kind of tried to do it heavy, was the Trojan. And then a lot of people are really still, even though it was like last year's big thing kind of, but the lace or the white lace, so obviously in the clowns for some reason, every recessive to me is kind of like a canvas, you know what I mean? So you got the normal, jungle or, classic or whatever. That's its own canvas. It's just like a white background. You just adding different genes to it or whatever. Then you get a clown, which is a whole nother canvas. You add those same genes that you put in the normal into the clown, and it's a whole nother painting canvas or whatever. Then you add, xanthic, plain xanthic. It's a whole new another canvas. You start throwing other genes on. Now you're starting to add double recessives, which even doubles up on the canvases and so on and so forth. So yeah, so it's the answer to the question, like I just said, would be in the codoms. I think it's going to be the Trojan. At least I hope so. That's why I did it so heavy this year. Heavy meaning 4 clutches. I don't have a huge collection. And then, I think the lace stuff. The lace is a very clean gene. A lot of people are comparing the super lace to Desert Ghost, which obviously Desert Ghost in the last 3 years was a heavy hitter. So I think those 2 genes are probably going to be in the next year and 2 are going to be like the really hot ones.
Okay.
Do you even know what have you seen what Trojan looks like? A single gene Trojan?
I have, but dude, show one off.
All right, the one I got is a very like one of the best examples that I've ever seen.
Because Trojan, like,
Around, so
I'm trying to even. I'd be lying to you if I remembered what the Trojan even looked like.
It's nice.
Yeah.
This
came from Abe, Jason Abraham at Abe's Exotics.
Okay, yeah.
Look how clean.
Oh, that is clean, dude.
And that's an adult. That's an adult breeder male that I just had paired recently, like yesterday. So doesn't that almost kind of look like to me, it almost looks like it could be recessive. Let me try to get the head stamp. Or is there a head stamp?
That's...
Yeah, so...
Dude, that's super clean.
Yeah, this is a really
it's really nice
example.
Clean one.
So yeah, me and
the colors are totally different with it too.
Yeah, they kind of like monarchish meets ultramel and I don't know. It's to me it seems like it would be in that like if you were to put ultramel and monarch in a family, like you would think that this would be, or in a group, I guess you would say Trojan would almost be in that group because it.
Okay.
If I was to compare it to any other snakes, it would be that. But yeah, so I got some siblings coming, or some babies coming.
Some babies.
This.
Old man, yeah, it's JD Constriction that does nothing but Exantics. And then, you can just come to this guy if you want TSK stuff. I mean, we all know it's brown, but hey, I mean, support your little guy here. Yeah, it's John Daig that runs JD Construction Well. John Daig. He was a guest for our first season. I'd like to bring him back on here at some point again because he was fun to have on. All right, now my last topic is you guys being breeders in Florida. What are some of the challenges, worries, pains in the ass things that you guys have had to deal with that some of us might not really think about or take for granted in other areas?
All right. Well, she nailed it. The worst,
Hurricanes.
one of the worst things that we're always stressing over is hurricanes. Where we are at, we're in St. Petersburg, Florida, which is like not too far from Tampa. We're surrounded by water. We're actually in a flood zone. I don't know if you guys up there even know what a flood zone is, but like
St. Pete's the little curve that comes off of Florida, like the little island part.
Yeah, I can actually walk outside during the day and see seagulls flying over the house every now and then. That's how close we are to, water's all around us. So it's always, being in a flood zone. I know if we were to get like a direct hit or something, even from a Cat 2 or something, it would flood us out a little bit. It really sucks. So that's always a stressful thing. I've lived in Florida since I was 12 years old. I'm 51 now, and I've never, had anything that bad, but there's always that worry. I mean, I had a friend down south that got hit pretty bad, and had some flooding and stuff, and a lot of houses, probably 2 hours from us south, got hit. So that's always a worry. That's one of the bad things. Of course, you got FWC and all the stuff they're always trying to push, which really sucks. So that's always a little stressful worry, So all these little things kind of keep you on your toes, and I guess keep you young, maybe. I don't know. Some of the good things about Florida, though, is I can walk outside and you can herp. I can go right down. There's a park down the ways from me called Sawgrass. And I can go out there and see. I see alligators on job sites all the time, And
I remember you posting videos and stuff of alligators on the Instagram.
All the birds here. I mean, you get those. They look like flamingo. I don't even know what they're called. The pink birds with the flat beaks and stuff.
Yeah, they eat shrimp, so they turn pink.
That's flamingos. Well, these other ones probably do too. But I mean, it's like the birds and stuff is really cool down here. The other thing that's really cool is like I have 2 outside enclosures that are really big, and I have the pectinata lizards, and I have redfoot tortoises, and I got rhino iguanas and Chinese box turtles. They all live outside,
Mostly,
that I think is the biggest perk, right there.
That's one thing that I love. That I don't take it for granted. I mean, I know that you guys can't have it, and you might say that this is the only way I know of because I've been here so long, but that's something I definitely don't take for granted because I hear people all the time tell me how, oh man, I wish I could have something like that outside, you know? I mean, if you ever been, I did 2 tours today. 2 separate people or groups came to my house today, and did like a small little tour showing them, you know, all the different animals.
It's like a little petting zoo.
It's almost
here.
yeah, it's almost like going to a reptile zoo, you know, for all the different stuff and the big enclosures and the fountains and stuff that I have inside the enclosures, you know. So that's one of the perks about living here. So and then all the shows. There's a lot of shows here.
You see,
I was gonna say, it seems like Florida's always got a show. From what I've noticed in all the feeds from everybody, it's like everybody's at a show every weekend. I thought it was great here because up here in PA, like, God, I'm at a really nice area. I've got Lebanon, which is 30 minutes away. Carlisle would probably be 45 minutes away. Gettysburg is an hour away. Oaks is an hour and 20 away. Like,
I've heard of
I could be at about probably 8 different shows in roughly about an hour and a half time.
Yeah.
Now the part that sucks is that those shows seem to be scheduling each other on the other people's dates, which I don't understand why you would do that.
Yeah,
I know.
Hey, real quick, hey Will, if that's a mouse rack, I'm not actually looking for something. So if you can send me a link or a screenshot or whatever, wherever you saw that ad, that'd be awesome. If it's a mouse rack, I'm looking for like the 10 series or the smaller mouse rack type for my rodents right now. I'm just trying to replace one of the ones that I have. So, but anyways, I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. That's a good opportunity. You gotta jump on that one out.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about trying to like set up one of the snakes outside? Because I forget who it was and what state they're in, but they did an outdoor enclosure for like their carpet pythons.
Yeah, that was he's a little more south than me. That's Camp Kennan.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that sounds right.
Yeah,
right.
and Ty Park, he has some. If you ever get down to Florida, man, you got to check out Ty Park or Iguana Land. Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah, Iguana Land.
Yeah, so they have them outside, but no, the snakes I have are ball pythons, and boas, and the boas I got. I mean, they're really high end. I mean, the cheapest one is, I think I paid $600, and then they go all the way up to like $4,000. I'm not sticking something like that outside, taking any chances. And yeah, there's a few times I thought about just trying it because I know they say because where we're at, they could live outside as far as the ball pythons until it gets cold because it does get kind of cold here.
We've gotten down into the 30s.
And if they
at night.
And I don't think they could survive here in Florida if a ball python got loose because there's too many prey or things that can hunt them down.
Yes, yeah, there's too much bigger things. Yeah.
I just thought about like if I had like a normal, just setting up a cage outside and, you know, obviously feeding it and water and all that just to see how it would thrive. But then.
Well, yes, you would feed it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that, you know, it's not going to catch anything. It would be like a fully enclosed, you know, screen. I thought about doing something like that, but then, you know, if it doesn't work out, I don't want to put any animal through anything. So,
that's true too. Yeah, that's very true. Now, have you guys does FWC like do surprise inspections on you, or have you guys ever?
They can, but they haven't at our facility.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. I mean, they can. There's nothing wrong.
Our facility is good, but I just don't want to have that stress of.
Oh, God,
we had them come up to us at a show. Actually, we were talking about this today.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was at Daytona. She says it was at a Tampa show.
It was at a Tampa show.
The Tenosaur pectinata, which are like the panda dragons or the Mexican spiny tail, they're the pied pectinatas. They look like pied. They're black and white.
Okay.
They're black and white iguanas, basically, the Mexican spiny tail iguanas. When they're babies, they look just like a green iguana, which green iguanas are the ones that are loose in South Florida. They wouldn't survive up here. We don't see them where we're at. But they're still illegal in the whole state. I wish they would put a line, you know, across the state, you know, a barrier where they're illegal past this line, you know, where they can survive in the wild. But we had some on display. And what I do with my iguanas, because especially the pied pectinatas, they look so different when they're grown up. You know, they're bright green at babies, and then they change to really dark black and white, like a pied.
So they start out green, though.
They start out
Yes.
fluorescent green, yeah, like really bright green.
So freaking weird.
So what I do
Yeah,
when I display those, I have one of those digital picture frames. And in the digital picture frame, I have a picture of them in the eggs and them pipping and me holding them. And then I have a picture of the mom and the dad so they can see. Because when people are buying a pied pectinados, they want to see what the parents look like because they're looking for the really high whites. In my male, you could look in my Instagram. You'll see pictures. He's very, very quality high white, you know. So undercover FWC, like a couple came up and they're talking to me. They're just asking random questions, and I thought it was just a customer. And I'm like, yeah, look at this, look at this digital picture frame we have. And I'm like, yeah, it flashes every 5 seconds. I said, yeah, that's them hatching, and this is what they grew up. They didn't even question. I didn't even know they're FWC, and I don't know. They walked away, and then George MD, I don't know if you know him. He's a Florida guy here. He calls me over. He goes, hey, man, that was undercover FWC. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, what was he saying? He said, no, they were looking at the pectinados. And I said, they probably thought they were
green.
They thought they were green iguanas.
But, so that's one thing I do is I show the little digital picture frame. In other words, it probably would have been, more of a investigation for them and stuff, but
they can look on our inventory list and see. And then, I mean, come on, this is the problem: is there's so many species, and they want to be able to control all these species, but they don't know what they are.
Yeah, I went to the Miami tag meeting that happened. Was it like 2 months ago, or whatever?
Yeah,
the one that the one that it was everybody was talking about, like when they had the boa that got killed accidentally or whatever. Yeah. So I went down there, and that's one of the things they said they thought that there was only like 2,000 reptiles that are native to Florida when they realized it was like triple that. And they're like, look, because of that and because of all the species, we don't know. So they actually put a hold on all that, which was actually a really good thing for us. And they said they're going to work with the reptile breeders and stuff like that to educate them a little bit more on identifying all the different reptiles and stuff.
Because some of the FWC officers said they don't want to be in control of that because they can't remember all of those animals.
There's an awful, now us being keepers and hobby, we look at the stuff, we can pick stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But unless you're deep into the hobby, with all these morphs and I could see on how they can get confused.
Yeah, I would even if it's something that we don't necessarily breed or that I'm not familiar with. There's so many different reptiles out there.
Here's one guy, and a lot of the people there were also fish people because they're trying to ban that. Some guy, so some guy walks up that owns a multi-million. He pays $1 million in taxes a year. He's got a very, very huge fish farm. He's the owner of that place. He comes in with a book like this thick, like 3 inches, 2 inches thick or whatever, puts it on the table when he goes up to speak. He goes, this book here is nothing but thousands and thousands of freshwater fish. He goes, I've been doing this for 30 years or whatever. I can't even sit there and pick out each one of these fish by looking at a picture and telling you what species they are. And some fish species are illegal in Florida, and they're like, how the hell is an FWC officer going to be able to do it if I can't even do it? It would take me months to figure, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's another thing. And it's the same with the reptiles. There's a lot of species of reptiles that's in Florida that's native that I don't even know all the native stuff. I got books on native species, like so many different frog species and lizards and everything.
Everything. Most things could live in Florida.
And Florida's a big state.
Yeah, you guys have the perfect
different localities and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things that can live up in North Florida or that live up in North Florida that are not down south and vice versa. Florida's a long state. You go up North Florida, it snows. South Florida, you don't see snow unless you're opening up your freezer.
We don't see snow yet.
See now, like down where you're at is like, have you guys ever seen any like of the Burmese or anything like that, or no?
Not in the wild.
I could go down south and hit the Everglades and probably hunt for them, but I've seen an iguana once in the wild, but that's because we were down south, and that's when my daughter picked up the fennec fox. And that was down south on the other coast, and that's
So
where
you gotta go down a little. You gotta go down a ways yet before you even start seeing
where we're at.
Yes.
They won't live here. It gets too
No.
cold, you
Okay.
know, where we're at when it does get cold. So, I mean,
Yeah.
even down south when it gets cold, they call them, what do they call them?
So they say like they freeze up and they just like fall off trees and
Yeah,
stuff.
they freeze and
lizard,
fall
chicken,
down. They have a
whatever.
name for them. I can't remember what they call them, but chicken. I don't know, something to do with chickens. But anyways,
Bosa
Key
says
case is down by
me.
him.
yeah. I think he's down by Miami. I seen him he was at the tag meeting. What?
Mhm.
Will said that Freedom Breeders sold.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did? All right.
Thanks
Now,
for checking in.
was it a mouse one or no? Because if
Why
said-
you want to be sad now?
because I could not kick myself in the ass for not seeing if it was a mouse one. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, all he says here is 7 row of FB for $550.
It was for ASF. That probably would have worked.
No, that would have been it. That might have been a. Well,
Some mice would have worked. Yep.
yeah. Oh well, you know, something like that probably went very quick
yeah.
too.
Probably.
I probably did.
Yeah, it probably had a bad, you know, the motor or the engine or the tires were flat.
He's
So,
trying to make himself feel
it's
better.
probably all rusted and bent. And tubs are all cracked and shit and discolored and peed on. Who knows?
I'd lay a bet on it. It was probably a hunk of junk.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was all rusted.
Yeah, all rusted and just junky. You don't want that.
Yeah. Termite
All
rating.
right. Let's see.
No.
Alex here says, are you guys going to Pembroke Pines Repticon next week?
No, our next one will be Orlando the last weekend in July. That we've been.
No,
We
what
won't
shows
be there,
do
but
you
we do
guys have coming up?
What's that?
What shows do you guys have coming up that everybody can check out?
We do Orlando's, Tampa Repticons, and Daytona in Florida. And then we do Tenley
Okay.
twice a year.
Yeah, so every Tinley Park for here on out will have at least always 2 tables. Every Daytona will have at least always 2 tables. We might eventually scoot over to what's the one in Texas there?
Arlington.
Yeah, we might.
Arlington.
Yeah, we might scoot over there eventually. Probably not this year, but maybe start trying to get in there next year, the following year.
That would be you. I won't be able to.
Yeah. But that's I don't know about any more Florida Repticon shows. I like the 2 ones
Yeah, they'll
because
be
they're
in
like,
Orlando too. Cool.
okay. Well, we'll see you there.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. That's going to be it for tonight, everybody. Do you guys have any tips for anybody thinking about starting a YouTube channel, getting into breeding, any of that stuff?
Do what you love.
I'd say YouTube channel. I'm probably not the best for that because I don't have I don't do a lot of that. I need to start getting on that. So maybe ask you for the YouTube information. Tips on breeding, man. I don't go in trying to be big. I mean, you can make, if you're trying to do it as a business for breeding, if you're trying to do it as a hobby, do whatever you like, whatever you think looks pretty.
Do what you love.
But if you're trying to do it where you're trying to, sell stuff, you're going to have to invest, not necessarily in racks and all that, but you're going to have to put some money out for the animals and just pay attention. Don't just go and find something that looks pretty and stuff. Kind of look at the market and ask other breeders, what is it that sells very fast and stuff like that. And you've heard many people say it before. You can have 10 $100 snakes, or you can have 10 $2,000 snakes. They're all going to have the same care, the same amount of space, the same bedding, the same cleaning, the same feeding and stuff like that. The only difference is when you're breeding those, you're going to get much more money, in your
From the
sales
babies,
and you're going to sell a lot faster than you will if you have, you're breeding a $100 snake to a $100 snake. So if you're doing that as a business, you're going to don't be afraid to invest. It's really hard to say that or to do that in the beginning because you don't know. It's okay to get a couple, maybe the first 2, get some lower end stuff just to breed it, to see if that's something that you like doing, see if that brings the excitement and all that stuff. But if you know you're going to go in it and you're staying in it, don't go crazy buying a bunch of collections off of Craigslist like I did in the beginning, which I wouldn't change anything because I learned a lot. I had clutches and did shows my very first year, but things have changed from 6 years ago. So that's what I would say. And get a mentor. Finally, definitely find someone. More than one mentor, actually, if you can get a few of them, because a lot of different
perspectives.
Yeah, different people do things different. There's many ways to do it right, and there's many ways to do it wrong. So, mentors. Yeah. So, anybody ever has questions that that I can teach them, you can always message me or something. I'm always willing to answer questions. So.
And their information, everybody's in the description below, so check it out. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. That's gonna be it. We went like 3 hours, 3 hours and 10 minutes. This was like one of the longer ones.
We didn't even take Viagra, and we lasted that long, So.
Oh man, I knew this was gonna be a fun live, guys. I was really looking forward to this one. Everybody, next week's guest, we have Malacio from Wiz Constrictors joining us. So it's going to be another fun live. Live after that is actually going to be the day after my cookout. So since my brother Jeff and Angie there from Celtic Balls are staying here, we're going to be doing a 3-way live. And, we're just probably going to sit around bullshit and just, I don't know, talk about the barbecue or whatever, and maybe Angie will show off which carpet python she picked out to take home with her, because the carpets are out. They're absolutely beautiful. It's amazing to see the difference between a carpet hatchling and a ball python hatchling. And I'm not like, the size is completely different, but the mentality of them is so different as well. Like, I know ball pythons are like the lights are on, but nobody's home half the time. Even with these carpet hatchlings, they act just like the adults. They are out of the egg thinking 100% tuned into what's going on around them. Absolutely phenomenal, awesome babies. And so far, I've only got one feisty one. All the other ones that I've worked with so far since they've been out, they seem to be pretty decent. I'm not going to lie. But there is one that's got a slight attitude. So I'm going to work a little bit more with that one. So hopefully whoever that one goes to has a happier snake when they get it. But they are awesome. I'm not going to lie. Like, it makes me really want to upscale the carpet aspect of what I'm doing here. But so anyway, solo live would be on July 2nd. And then I'd have to pull my phone out for who else I have lined up, but we've got Jessica from Hair Hollow Farms coming on in July. We've got, oh God, all right, hold on. Let me pull my phone out and tell you, because that's going to bother me if I don't get it right. July, let's see. We've got Tim from Mint Boas on the 16th of July. Jessica from Hair Hollow Farm on the 23rd of July. And then I got to book the 9th and the 30th yet. So I got a little bit of work to do, but we're getting there on the schedule. I'm not going to lie, folks. I've been kind of slacking a little bit on booking guests. It's just been busy between everything here and the baby and the family. It's got me stretched a little thin here lately. But everybody, thank you so much for all the support, for joining us tonight, sitting here for 3 hours. We still got 21 people. We were almost up at like 40, I think. It was like all but 40 was our top that we hit. But everybody, make sure you guys go check out our sponsors of this week's episode as well. In case you guys forget, that's Nathan at Infinite Possible Pythons. You guys want bang or neat? You have any branding needs? This is the man to talk to. Go check Nathan out. And we got Chris at S Reptilia. Basically, one-stop shop for all your reptile needs, folks. If you need ball pythons, boas, blood pythons, colubrids, check Chris out. If you need rats in Eastern PA area, or you don't mind driving to Eastern PA, hit Chris up as well. And he is Pennsylvania's distributor of Cocoa to Go and the Chipper, so definitely check Chris out. And Gettysburg Reptile Expo LLC, folks, July 15th. I will be there along with a whole bunch of the PA crew. So come out, say hi, buy some animals, guys. We're all going to have some nice stuff there. So come out, check it out, and say hi and buy some stuff. And on top of it, don't forget, Husbandry Pro. Click the affiliate link in the description down below. Free 30-day trial. You won't regret it, folks. As you heard Jeremy and Genie say, they use it. They love it. I use it. I love it. It saves me so much time. Plus, now you've got Herp Social attached to it, which I think, depending on which which plan of Husbandry Pro you have, you can sell on Herp Social. So it's a whole nother platform, not only to network with, but also to sell through. So check it out, everybody. And then also, if you're not using Redline shipping, use this code Robin60, 60% off of 2 shipments. How can you go wrong with that? Wow, that was long-winded. All right, my mouth is tired. Everybody, thank you so much again. I greatly appreciate it. This week's video, I don't know what I'm going to throw you. I'm not going to lie. I'm torn. I've got clutch 6, the pulling of clutch 6 to throw at you, the clutch cutting of the carpets. I obviously can't throw you the cleaning up of the carpets without the clutch cutting of the carpets first. But, I mean, we've got a whole, we've got a bunch of videos. I got to figure out what's coming first. I've got an update on the Xantic clutch to throw out there yet too. So, not gonna lie, I don't know what I'm throwing you this week for a video, but stay tuned, check it out, and definitely make sure you guys watch it, because no matter what it is, it's gonna be great. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, have a great night, everybody. Jeremy, Genie, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Just hang on here 1 second while we close this up. But everybody, thank you so much. Oh, yep.
One more time, I just want to tell all the fathers, grandfathers, and soon-to-be fathers, like somebody said in here, happy Father's Day again.
Yes.
And same to you, Jeremy. And I do appreciate you having us on. It was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Hey, it was my pleasure, guys. I wanted to get you guys on last year, but it seemed like every time I was ready to book you, someone else booked you too close to the date. And it's like, now we got to spread it out a little bit, which I totally understood.
Yeah, I had somebody message me about getting on. I'm like, man, I've gone on Jeremy's. Let's wait at least a few weeks. So it's not so close together. But
it's smart. I'm not going to lie. It's smart to do it like that, though, because it seems like when one person gets somebody on, then the next week that same person's on another. Like, it's kind of like the domino effect. And by that time, like, that person's on their third live or so.
Like, you already know everything, you got to.
Yeah, you already know everything, and the audience retention seems to drop a little bit, or it seems anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
But guys, it was a blast having you on. Everybody, again, thank you so much. And like Jeremy said, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I know I had a great Father's Day, so I hope everybody else did too as well. And I will catch you next Sunday live here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, check out the video for this week and check out the sponsors. And everybody, have a wonderful rest of the week. And don't work too hard. Working sucks. So have fun.
Bye.
See you all later.
See you guys.
See ya.